I just
All
lost an
right.
inspiration point.
No, hello, welcome y'all. We are back once more. Apologies for the delay. This is Cisco style. I'm sorry, guys. We should be starting at 7, but we had a little bit of a conversation and it got a bit too long. Apologies on my behalf. But yeah, hello and welcome back for another episode of Candlekeep Mysteries and the Seal Pages of Verglas. Yeah, we are the Rollers of Fate and we are super excited to be with you this evening once more. Unfortunately, Mo is still not here. We send him all our love from here. We'll see him soon. As always, please, mighty internet gods, bless us on our cyber journey. Be nice to us. It means a lot too. I am Cisco Blanco, your Tail Weaver and Chaos Coordinator, and alongside me, I have one of the greatest online tables on the world. The least swollen-headed Cox in Candlekeeps. Could you please, gentlemen, introduce your handsome selves and your characters? Starting with Andy. I don't know.
Hello, everybody. I'm Andy. I'm playing Bruce Moonbear, the half-orc barbarian with a dash of cleric. Overall, that's level 11. Looking forward to potentially getting his fourth stop off in prison. I'll get a free ice cream. Let's go with Mark next. 1/3 of
Yes.
Team Green.
I'm playing the old green cock called Jagu. Half paladin, half barbarian build. I don't know what else to add to this. Luke, you go ahead.
You added Luke.
Hi, I'm Luke. I'm playing Ziggy the Changeling Bard. I did not just spill my drink. You can't prove that. It did not just get all over my desk and notepad. And yeah, I'm playing a Change of Spirits Bard. I'm gonna try to revivify my notebird. However, not gonna work. Lucky, take the fuck over. My God.
Hello there, folks. I am Lucky. I'm currently playing a Jar of Dirt.
True. It's true.
Let's see. Pact of the Dirt. Yeah. No, it's
Pirates of the
actually
Caribbean joke.
it's actually Ruined Synergy. Fairy Warlock in a jar, but currently playing Remy. And then we're forgetting the last green one, aren't we?
Yeah, just to mention that she's
Yeah,
a
take it away.
halfling. That's all. A little halfling. Blood
Little
Hunter
halfling.
Cleric, yeah. Thank you. Go, Joey.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name's Joey. I'm playing a Wood Elf Ranger, specifically a Horizon Walker who's level 11 named Harold Emmerfield. And I've just had not a near-death experience, an actual death experience. So we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, take it away, Cisco.
Didn't stick, doesn't count.
Very true. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the introductions. That was awesome. Now let's move to the announcements. Please, Mark, take it away. I hope you have that dirty
Yes.
mouth AI ready.
If you want to, you can quickly upload it. Otherwise, I will just do my own version of a dirty mount that I made for you.
I want to
yeah,
hear Mark's
please.
version, not an
Yes,
AI's
please,
version.
Mark.
Well, they are both basically my version. Only one is literally me, but then an AI spoke
Then
out loud. Yeah.
Be literally you. Do
I
it.
want you to.
Welcome
For a point of inspiration, please go crazy, Mark. Definitely.
Oh, I have something. No worries. Welcome to our den on Twitch and YouTube at Worlds of Fate D&D, where tales stiffen and adventures climax. We have the Eye of Observation, Dining in Provovia, Hearts of War, and this. Got questions, want to chat, or want news from Cisco? Worlds of Fate at dnd@gmail.com. For a direct shaft, poke at us at our X channel at FateDND. Content warning. Here's a heads up. Our game is a little filled with language that dicks around, plus jokes and themes that will trope, scare, and astound. If your virtue is too tight, consider this your forewarning. Our content's hard, fast, and ready to go every morning. Thanks to Passive Percent for our awesome maps, Darren Curtis and Tabletop Audio for her epic music, and James Webster for their amazing art. Give us a follow and a like if you haven't already. It helps us spread our long and wide tales and keeps us satisfyingly grateful. Thank you.
Cisco, that was worse than anything you have done.
I love
believe
you,
I just
Mark. I'm
heard.
so proud of you once more. Please take a personal inspiration. Please, guys, anytime you do announcements and you go dirty, you get an inspiration.
Still water
That
runs
was so
deep,
good.
Mark.
Amazing.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
make this for even bigger now.
Yeah, I will say because this is an extra one. I know you have 4, so for this instant, use it on tonight's session, so this will expire.
No.
Damn it, I feel so bad for you. Use
just
your
goes to
inspirations.
waste.
Why are you hoarding them? You see how many? It's been like 3 times.
Because you
I've tried
took
to
them
give you.
away from me. You took this
Wow.
away from me. It's
Wow.
You started this, so
All right. It's true, actually. Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you very much for those awesome announcements. Please roll for group inspiration next.
yes,
Watch him roll a 1 on
1d6.
this.
Oh, I never do that. See, it's a 2.
I have.
Close
Dude,
enough.
damn it, that
That's
was the
basically a 1.
minimum.
That's-
Yeah, you know what?
that's
Because you cannot
fine.
use your inspiration because you don't have. I'll give the group the inspiration for your dirty talk just to make it fair.
Oh, so
So you don't lose
3
it.
overall then.
Well,
Yeah,
in that
so
case,
you
you
have
guys are
3.
welcome.
So you have 3. Yeah, please
So 3,
be
okay,
very
sweet.
grateful for
Okay.
Mark.
I mean, yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, either way. Alright, so let's see here.
You appreciated that? Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
appreciated. That's the
course I
proper
do.
old English style. Appreciate. Thank you all for playing with me this evening, and to everyone who's tuning from home, please make yourselves comfortable, grab a nice drink, and now let's see which mysteries shall be revealed today. Previously on the sealed pages of Verglas, following Selûne's calling, the caravan of chaos and gas teleported to Cholt to aid 2 members of the Order of the Alabaster Moon, Remy Duskweather and the heroic Ebony Bandreg, who later on sacrificed himself in order to complete their mission. After successfully infiltrating and exploring Brimstone's hold, fighting a greater mimic, overcoming several obstacles like a manipulative Arcanoloth with a hidden agenda, our heroes open the secret demiplane, retrieving the Book of Bald Darkness and the Scrolls of True Resurrection needed to bring Ruan back from the afterlife. Yet, Yazazun, the evil Efriti, are you ready? Who was in charge of the prison, came upon the intruders, and alongside his hot-mouthed friends tried to squeeze the cock's juice out, fucking an ogre
fuck
also,
off.
and all together enter an arcane orifice in a dramatic climax. Alright. This teleportation circle led to the outer gates of Neverwinter, where the fight continued as the town's guard attacked until persuaded to stop. The merciless Efriti tried his best to retrieve the stolen book, in fear for his master's wrath, but the caravan of chaos' mighty skills, teamwork, and power of friendship won the battle once more. Oops! Okay. And you find yourselves, this is how we continue our story tonight. We open on a fine late afternoon, towards the end of the month of flowers, outside the west walls of the city known as the Jewel of the North, where an odd combination of creatures stand within and outside of a circular arcane structure. In there, we see 2 pristine devils and another very wounded bunch, including a genie, a wereboar, an orc, and 2 turtles, one large and rocky, and another mossy and smaller. Cox, you all notice, as you are there, full of blood, ashes all around you, from those serpentine creatures and the Friti, that all the guards on the walls are not looking at you. Instead, they are looking up towards the sky above. I need you all to make a perception check, please.
Gotcha. Perception.
No time here.
I think the problem is we're not full of blood at this point.
Oh,
Wow.
could I make it an advantage since I'm next to Ziggy?
Sure, of course.
Do I have advantage because it's hearing or smell?
Sure. Is also hearing.
Okay, so it's-
hearing, yeah. So yeah.
Could I have advantage just because?
Sure. Say now.
Oh no!
Okay, I'll give you a bit
I
of
earned my
visual.
Thank
advantage.
God for the advantage.
I rolled like shit, and I'm gonna just take it as is.
I mean, the DC
Because I'm the true best player.
is not a super high one, so you shouldn't worry too much. Okay, so anyone who got higher than 13 will
Mhm.
realize that in the distance you see a silver flying object coming in your direction. This object is a flying saucer. It's around 40 feet in diameter, and it is accompanied by 3 giant eagles that seem to be in some kind of formation going in your direction. Also, whoever got higher than a 13 can make a history check, as you notice that in that flying saucer, it seems to be some kind of symbol that some of you might recognize, assuming you're successful. So make a history check if you
Flying
surpass the 13 DC.
saucer. A flying saucer.
Yes, sir. Silver.
Have we gone? Have we gone sci-fi?
Does
and
it
you've
have
told
anything
us?
to do with fae, fiends, or undead?
Nope.
Fuck, so it's normal.
Okay,
I mean, you're next to
literally-
Ziggy, aren't you?
Yeah, you
like
get advantage
yeah,
just by being near me anyway.
because
Oh,
you're
yeah,
lawful
yeah.
neutral as Remy.
Yeah, that's very true.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so the DC of this was 12. Did whoever got more than 12 will recognize the symbol being this. Actually, I'll display it for you right here in the top on the map where you are.
No, you could have rolled your perception check with advantage.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
did because I rolled it again.
Oh.
Yes, so you will recognize this symbol being the crown of the Lord's Alliance. Based on that history check, whoever of you were successful will know that the Lord's Alliance is a confederation of cities and towns up, down the Sword Coast and throughout the north, including Baldur's Gate, Mirabar, Waterdeep, Mithral Hall, Neverwinter, and Andy, well, Bruce, you have advantage on the history check. I forgot that. Because he also includes...
I'll roll again while
yeah,
you're chatting.
roll again. Because he also includes Silvery Moon as well. That is where you come from. Yep, mind you, you don't you know that the Lord's Alliance are there, but you might have not recognized the symbol. Members of the Alliance must come to another's aid in times of need, and the organizations uses field operatives like diplomats, spies, adventurers, assassins to safeguard its interests. And you all recognize on that flying saucer the symbol of that, whoever got a successful check. Knowing that,
Does that mean? Does that mean that technically, if Bruce was still technically a noble, he's not. He's not been a noble for a very long time. He's technically he owes this lot fealty.
Could you use a different word? I'm not sure what you mean by
he owes them loyalty. Like it's the loyalty you owe to your
kind
liege
of.
lord.
If you are a bit
Dad
patriotic, as you were a lord before, I will imagine so. It will be something.
I mean,
that your father would have actually done, because being a noble, you
dad
kind
would
of
have.
like kind of do. Yeah.
I've an idea for how I'd respond to this, but we'll play it out. We'll play it out.
All right.
If it comes up.
So you are all there. You see what do you do?
I mean, for starters, Harold's just going to put his bow away. And am I still looking like an Arenes, or am I actually an elf
you
now?
both of you look like devils still. Yes, unfortunately
even if
for
I
you.
Die?
Yes,
still
because
continue?
this is not you concentrating on it. This is some of this. This
Son of a
the
bitch.
scroll that last 8 hours, so you cannot do anything about that. That's why you look pristine, because you look untouched. Because this is an illusion, so there is no blood on you.
Is an hour.
Huh? No,
I
it's
thought seeming was an hour.
8 hours.
I think it's 8, actually. I think Cisco's right.
Yeah. I used it all the time on Thursday for my other character.
Bruce will go about helping people up, presumably Errol first, because he looks like he took like the worst of it, and you'll say to him just like, "Looks like someone from the Lord's Alliance is coming to visit us."
Yeah, terrible timing. Oh shit.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
If There is a spell save check though, like with Sky's Self.
I mean, does anyone know Dispel Magic? I just would rather
No,
just
but
do
I mean
that.
is that if somebody's looking at us, they can use investigation to try and beat it.
Do I know Dispel Magic? No, I don't. Shit.
Remy is going to use.
It doesn't have any.
Fuck, I have no
It
more.
doesn't have a spell.
I was gonna use one of her. I was gonna
Hmm?
try and use one of her divine things, but I don't have any.
No.
I could have exchanged it for a spell.
We'll go with the flow then. We'll see who they speak to. They might look at our Erinyes and go, keep them away from us.
Remy will drop out of her lycanthrope form though,
Okay.
just to appear friendlier.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Anyone else would like to do anything else?
Scrape the blood off.
Okay.
Don't think we can do anything else really.
Cooling wipes, yeah.
All right.
He'll make sure Bruce will make sure his cleric symbol and his ring is clean so he can present it. He's not a noble really, technically, mechanically, so he's not got a signet ring.
Perfect. The flying saucer goes above you, and as they go closer to it, you actually feel this blue light that engulfs all of you. And almost like in a Star Trek episode, all of you start to become semi-translucent, and you all find yourselves within a second inside a flying saucer with 8 creatures, humanoid creatures, elves, halflings, different races. All of them dress up as wizards with wizardry robes. And you see this weird mechanical contraption with some kind of rod in the middle, and one of them is operating it, and you see it transparent. You are kind of like, as you look to the outside, it feels like you can see through this silver structure, and you see the air where you are flying. And one of them says, "Good afternoon. I'm sorry for encasing you like this. It's not our normal procedure, but we are aware of who you are. We understand that you are in some kind of mission. We spoke to Candlekeep already, and we are aware that you are the Cox. We have been doing a quick background check on you, and a friend of yours, who is the great reader on the library of Candlekeep, has vouched for you. So therefore, instead of taking you to jail where we should be taking you, we are taking you to the castle instead, to Never Castle. You will have an audience with some of the diplomats in there later on, who will discuss the predicament and everything that is happening. So make yourselves comfortable and relax. We will be there shortly. Does anyone have any questions? And you see this halfling wizard say that. It's very tight.
Is
You
there
have
free food
wizards all around. What?
Is there
Go for it.
free food along the way?
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't bring beverages or refreshments, but you will get them once we arrive to the palace.
This isn't how it normally look. Does anyone know a spell called Dispel Magic to get rid of this? I'm stuck with this for the next, 6 hours.
Oh, you are not a devil. You are not devils. He looks towards you as well, Ziggy.
No, but
I-
Oh,
no.
okay. And one of them starts to kind of focus on you, and you see that investigating face. Kind of like...
My companion and I used a scroll of seeming on them.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Oh, sure. No worries. I got this. The guy who is speaking, he kind of like moves his hand like that, and you, Herald, become your beautiful self once more.
Okay.
Same with you, Ziggy. Another elven wizard kind of makes a different kind of movement, like almost like an infinity sign on this, and say a couple of words of power, and you become your beautiful self too. How do you look like Ziggy at this point, actually? Because you are changeling. Are you in your normal Ziggy form, or where will you be?
I guess just my regular changeling self at the moment.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
I'll just look down my shirt. Oh, hey! that scar carries over. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, well, I will be billing you for bringing you back to life, by the way.
Okay.
Just, I don't like doing it.
I didn't like dying.
Yes, stop doing it.
Actually, wait. Speaking of, oh shit. Wait, where's the book?
In your...
Which book? There's no book, Harold.
The book?
And I don't have it.
Part of the.
he has a death journal. He
Make a
likes to-
deception check.
Yeah, he likes to mention every time he dies, and I don't like it. It's
Yago.
very fucking macabre.
I was about to.
Do I get advantage because Ziggy saved my ass there?
Let's say that Sig is helping you, so yeah, sure.
Deception. Easy clap.
Nice.
There you go. Now I can hear music. Okay.
So net 20,
Right.
24.
Wow. Oh, of course. Sure. That's yes. You can put your notes in your journal if you wish to. There is no restriction here, as long as you don't do any hostile anything that will put any of us in danger. You can do as you please, reasonably.
Right. Sorry about that. Like I said, just came back from dying. Never did that before. That is very disorienting. Thank you guys.
I think you look much
Anyway.
better at this form as well.
Thank you. Yeah. Errol doesn't say anything after that.
Bruce puts a hand on Errol's shoulder, just a quick, firm but so gentle grip, and takes his hand off again.
Thanks.
Right, that's what Bruce is doing, just going around the rest of the party, sort of checking with everyone, a hand on the shoulder, and be sort of, all right there. Just with everybody in general.
Bruce, you're technically a man of God, right?
One of them, I suppose, but so's he. And he points to Yagu.
Yeah, Jocko is
well-
literally staring at you in your soul as you say that and not coming to him instead. But, yeah, sure.
I mean, I guess you both can help me out then, because I headed to a place I was not comfortable with, and quite frankly, I'm not sure what happened. But before I got pulled out, I was kind of gonna be forced to go up against somewhere. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what it means to worship a god, but I thought that there would at least be some sign that would be listened to, but that didn't happen.
I'm still learning much of the theory and the written literature. I know it's probably know only slightly more than you. We go to be judged once we pass on, and if we served or worshipped or whatever, then that particular god would come and claim the soul. But that's the extent of it, really.
Huh.
Wizards nod their
um,
head on agreement. Quietly, because they don't want to interrupt the
Right.
conversation.
Okay. Any advice on how to, I guess, start earning God's favor? Because I was under the impression maybe I pissed off Sylvanas somehow.
Did you?
I don't know, I guess.
I'll look to Yagu. Bruce is kind of.
Yeah. Like, did you do anything that would make you think that? That's more.
I mean, to my knowledge, no. I always tried my best to preserve nature to the best of my ability. I tried not to be too cruel towards the wildlife wherever we go, and
Then
I mean, I've
you're probably
relatively...
you're probably worrying over nothing then.
He didn't respond when I prayed to him, Ziggy.
You haven't really been all that clerical. I don't see why you'd expect anything.
Who's to say that the collection is immediate, though?
Trying to get into my head. I'm not sure exactly what was going on. It just was
Okay.
just somehow fogging up my
I just
fogging.
click on
the
the stream cut off. Sorry for that, guys. Go back. We
Oh,
go
no problem.
Oh,
So
rewind.
just
no.
to repeat,
Rewind
like,
3 seconds. It didn't cut off. I
Okay.
just pressed the
Yeah.
wrong page by mistake. I was meant to go
Okay.
into the PDF,
Is it still
and
going
I
right
press OBS. No, it's going. It just went to the end scene for a second. So please rewind 10 seconds. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, folks, for your patience. So I felt he didn't respond when I prayed to him, and while I was there, it was weird. It was gray, and it felt like my mind was trying to be foggy, and it's like I was able to know that I died, even though I shouldn't have known that I died. It just kept trying to get in my head, and I kept praying to Sylvanas on what to do, and there's some kind of wall. I've never been there. I don't want to go back, and I don't know what to think about all of that.
Maybe it was a test.
I guess.
Why
but
would Sylvanas test in that case?
I don't know.
I mean, granted, my dad worshipped him a lot more heavily, so maybe there's something that he did that I'm missing in that regard.
Maybe there's some resentment for you not. I mean, do you particularly follow this god?
Yes, I only, but yeah.
I mean,
don't know.
in the sense of, are you an avid worshipper? I guess.
That's a good question. I am. Huh.
Maybe the difference is you've had your heart filled with so many other things that it's not left much room for anything else.
Maybe. It was just a weird experience. Sorry to bother you guys with that. Anyway, right. Let's get going. Hopefully they'll bring us to this castle soon.
You keep kind of hearing that wiring sound as you keep flying. As you look through the kind of like translucent windows all around you, you start to see fully the city of Neverwinter from above. You see different buildings. Everything seems very civilized. People are getting on for the afternoon kind of duties. You hear different sounds from the city. You are flying not that high above the city, like kind of like a reasonable few hundred feet up, so you can still clearly see. There is like also a floating kind of mount that you've seen before. There is like a few rocky structures that float, and they're kind of like being tied up with ropes. It's just like, imagine like a floating island in the middle of the sky, pretty much, that you've seen before when you've been to Neverwinter. Everyone knows it just was some arcane magic from the past that stayed there, and it hasn't been able to be removed since, and the city takes pride on it. You keep going, and far in the distance now, you start seeing the castle as well.
By Jove. So, Bruce will turn to the wizards. What does the Lord's Alliance want with a bunch like us, then?
To be honest, I haven't really been privy to that information. I assume, based on the reference check they didn't do on you, potentially some kind of favor in exchange for something. That's how they normally work. There was a precarious situation that you find yourselves in. Entering a teleportation circle with enemies to the city is actually an infringement of the law of Neverwinter, and everywhere you go, really, as well as casting public spells, harmful spells, even though they were not directed to anyone in the city. So there is a lot of arguments there and stuff, but I'm sure there will be. You haven't been invited to the palace, or whatever it is, I'm sure it's nice, so don't worry too much.
Bruce will sort of guffaw at this and go, well, I'll remember next time I need to fight for my life. I better not cast a spell.
Yes, I see your point. But
Yeah,
you know, we
you wizards, I'm sure you could also handle such a situation.
Yeah, Bruce is smiling, like he's made his point, but he's just kind of okay.
I see. They kind of like all keep looking at each other with this kind of awkward, this super tight space as well, you know. So it's like you are like elbowing a wizard every time you move, pretty much, because this.
He's got bloodstains on him at this point.
Yeah.
'Cause,
There's like
I'm
there
a
is a
mess.
lot of prestidigitation being casted all around you, kind of like cleaning all around. They will ask you as well. If you allow me, I can proceed to clean some of you. You look a bit scruffy for the court, if that's okay. If everyone is okay with that.
I'm afraid
Sure.
you're not going to close up open wounds.
I mean, we have a few potions as well. Barney, get the potions out. Barney kind of
I
like is
don't-
like a bigger creature. Okay, yes, they're going to the palace. Ultimately, it's not gonna do that much, but they kind of hand out a regular potion to each of you as Barney kind of opens this bag of holding and he keeps pulling potions out and passing to each of you. At least it's not a lot. But
Regular
Regular.
potion of healing, right?
yeah. Please take it now.
Okay.
I'm assuming
You are
the
bleeding
expectation
around.
is take, 2d4 plus
All right,
2.
we'll drink it then. I'm trying to remember what the dice roll actually is for that.
2d4
plus
plus
two.
2.
Thank you. Andy.
2d4, thank you. Plus 2. Okay. Errol's is gonna drink it to be polite. 3 plus 2. Okay, so 5. Okay. 5.
Yoko's gonna try and pretend to drink it, but actually will try to put it in his shell.
Yeah, make a either sleight of hand or deception, whichever you prefer or is higher.
Ziggy won't make a point of it. He just puts it in his bag.
You clearly hear it cling in his shell.
How wounded are you, Siggy?
Not very. I'm okay.
Okay. So then one of them will.
I've taken some damage, but I'm okay.
Yeah. If you're not bloodied, you know, like half of your HP or more.
I gave Ziggy the supreme healing potion, so
Yeah.
he's not taking damage since he'll be
I'm
mostly
at
okay.
64 out of 89.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he'll
you're
be fine.
fine. Yeah,
you'll
you're
be
not
fine.
bleeding around. So one of them will kind of look at you with this face. Fair enough. And doesn't really say fair enough aloud. That's kind of his face that you see with your passive insight. And Yagu, what did you get in your roll? 7. Are you very wounded, Yagu?
More than half HP, so I would say no.
Would you please mind more than half of your HP?
Yeah, more than half.
Yeah, so then one of them will say, would you mind drinking it? You're bleeding. It's making us cast magic unnecessary. You're going to be bleeding around the castle. It's not really acceptable. So I understand you want to keep the potion. I'll give you an extra one, but just please drink that one. And he will pull one out and hand it to you. As long as you drink that one, please. You're bleeding on our floor.
Yoku will take the potion and then he will cough and he will cast Cure Wounds through his staff on himself.
Oh.
So, and this cures wounds.
Smart.
Thank you very much.
The other kind of Barney looks down and said, okay, yeah, whatever. They all look at each other kind of like awkwardly. Becomes really awkward.
Ziggy puts her hand out ready to fist bump Yadu.
Lots of
Yoku
three
won't, but you
wizards
will
kind of
feel
move
that,
back.
you know, you feel his invisible mage hand fist bump you, but he won't actually do it, he will just wink at you.
Anyway,
And
so
then you
who
feel
is it
that
that
you're
we're to
descending.
meet here?
Sorry,
Who is
go
it that
ahead.
we're to meet here at this castle? Did they they tell you to tell us?
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, you will be meeting. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just scrolling through my page, damn it, because I want to get the name right. Chancellor Sofina.
Chancellor Sophina? Okay.
Yes. She will
Thank you.
speak until Governor Lord Fitzwilliams is ready. At the moment, he's in some kind of meeting at the moment.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we are gonna need a little bit of time after this too. Hopefully.
Oh yes, of course. I mean, it's at this point you see kind of like on the sky. It's been like 15 minutes you've been in this kind of flying saucer. It's around, you see, still late afternoon at this point, around 4-ish, getting to half 4-ish, and then you see the sun is still very warm outside, and the flying saucer descends all the way now. The 3 eagles that were accompanying you all the way, they are white eagles, as the saucers totally descend into this huge courtyard on this beautiful castle. You see many towers that are peeking out. You see the castle has a circular rock around its main structure as well, and there is from it 3 bridges radiate all over Neverwinter River. You see there is signs. It says a Sleeping Dragon Bridge, Winged Wyvern Bridge, and Dolphin Bridge. And the castle itself is majestic and beautiful, really well kept. It reminds you some kind of way of the oldness and kind of style of building to Candlekeep, but you see this is a much more using much more finer materials, but in terms of the style of the age, you gather is a very old structure as well, probably a millennium old, over a millennium old, as well as Candlekeep library as well. And then as those eagles kind of land into the courtyard as well, they transform themselves back into their humanoid forms, and you see that they are some kind of druids, elven druids as well. And they also wearing like all this green and leather clothing with a symbol on it. All of you can make a history check as well, please.
Bruce will nudge Gerald and go, "Oh look, Team Green."
Oh. Oof, that was a terrible roll. I forgot to change my dice. That is on me.
I
Yeah.
got a very average roll.
Yeah,
The most average roll, you might say.
It's the same roll than before, so I believe it was 12 or 13. Let me just making sure. Yeah, anything
the only one who
above a
knows them.
12 on this one. Go on, Luke.
Yeah, well, unless Lucky rolls, Ziggy seems to be the only one who knows then.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, you will know that this is the Emerald Enclave. It's a far-ranging group that opposes threats to the natural world and help others to survive in the wilderness. Branches of this organization are scattered through Faerun and often operate in isolation from others. It's very rare to see Emerald Enclave helping Lord Alliance troops, but I guess you gather that this probably work for the city as well. And their existence kind of teaches the Enclave member a fierce self-reliance and mastery of certain fighting and survival skills. So you gather they could be on training actually as well, potentially, or something like that. And you recognize that symbol there. They kind of bow and they actually proceed to click a few buttons on the outside. You cannot really see exactly what they're clicking, but this kind of like the floor of the inside of these flying saucers kind of like opens, and you see from one of his walls it divides into small squares, and you see like a arcane stairs made of the pieces of where the door was that wasn't really there, and now there is an opening and there is like a metal pieces floating on the air, kind of on a stairs kind of way. And the wizard say, "Oh, please, after you."
Righto. Bruce will step forward.
As you step, the actual piece kind of like almost moves with you for a second. Make a dexterity saving throw, please. You have advantage because you are who you are.
I am who I am.
You are that barbarian. Yes, you are fine. You manage to, you lose balance for a second and then says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned, make sure that you do firm steps, don't just as you were walking normally, otherwise the surface will bounce with you as you move, sir."
I see. In that case, then you'll just very slightly hover above the ground with my flight boots and just sort of like pretend I'm walking, but I'm flying up the stairs. Just to...
You hear one of them kind of like muttering magnificent, kind of like, and the other one shushing him for a second. I imagine all of you, please, all of you make a dexterity saving throws at advantage too, because you've been warned how to step on it.
Gotcha.
rolling to walk upstairs. I love it.
Yeah.
+4 for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so +4 as well. So
Yeah, the DC is actually 14, so anyone who got higher, you will be okay. I think all of you are fine. Yeah, amazing. Are you?
14 to walk up the stairs. These stairs are a death trap.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of imagine like as you go on each of the steps, the whole is like a whole piece, you know. I don't know if you guys
It's
seen
a
the
terrible place.
Have you guys seen the Flight of the Navigator? It's a really old 80s movie with a kid.
Ages ago.
Yeah.
Ages ago.
Yeah, and it kind of like that's the same stairs that I imagine. So every time you step, the whole thing kind of bounces up and down, and it's really slippery in a way, in an uncomfortable way. But when the wizards follow you, as you see them following, the steps don't even move. It must be something, a skill that you learn from flying on the device itself, you know, of how they're stepping on it, and they almost seem to move less. And you all step out into the courtyard. It's a beautiful green, kind of like all flowers blooming, kind of like cuts out of these hedges to resemble different patterns and animals and structures. And the druids are escorting you on the very front. And if you all follow, you also can see on the distance some kind of coliseum that is in kind of construction. You actually saw it before when you came to the city last time, but now it looks like almost finished at this point. It's almost like, imagine like a Roman coliseum, kind of like a circus where they will have the gladiator fight, something like that. And you can see that from the palace as it's higher on the distance. And you keep following them, start going up into these different rooms. There is a entrance hall, all beautiful. The palace is there is not a lot of furniture or things like that, but there is very high marble floors, beautiful paintings, huge kind of paintings depicting all kings, knights and warriors, and kind of like battle scenes all around, and huge tapestries that go from the very high ceilings. The ceiling is like at least like 100 feet high. It's like a massive, you know, with some murals and paintings on the actual ceiling as well. And you keep going up the stairs and spiral stairs and different places. The wizards are on the very back, the druids are on the very front, and you are kind of all in the middle. You have a few minutes if you want to discuss or converse something. They're kind of giving you a bit of a space. They are not on your face, kind of. They're giving you a few 50, 60 feet between you guys and the stairs, so they won't necessarily hear you unless you talk very loud. So if you want to discuss anything, now is the time.
Let's speak in Gripply Croak.
Ribbit, good idea. Well, I know a bit about this, Croak. This is, the Lord's Alliance, Ribbit. I believe this Chancellor Sofina, Croak, is quite a big deal, so be on your best behaviors, gentlemen, lady.
Ribbit, Croak, fair enough. Ribbit. Although we do have to, I still have the 2 scrolls, so Croak, we should probably try to request a bit of privacy. I'm still going to need an hour, Ribbit.
Of course, Croak. Ribbit, I do think, by the way, if they start asking questions, I would prefer honesty be the best policy, what we were sent out to do. You hold up
Croak, except about the book, I assume.
Well, you hold
Ribbit.
up the ring. You hold the ring to say that, we have the clergy's blessing to bring it to them, Ribbit. It was our mission, Croak.
Plus,
Yeah,
we've also
Croak,
found this map about Candlekeep, so we can also pretend like it's a very urgent
Just
scenario.
quickly,
So
who's got the highest, who's got more than 15 passive perception?
I believe Harold has it as well. We
I
have the
do.
same.
I have 17.
17 here as well.
What about
17
you,
for me.
Remy?
Team Green.
She
15.
should. Oh, okay.
So make a perception check. Those of you only who has that higher perception check than 15.
Percept.
22.
Oh, that's advantage, sorry. Oh, it's the same number.
Yeah, you. Oh wow! Look
Ooh,
at
look at
that.
Natural
that.
20.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Anyone who got higher than a 20, so 20 or higher, so
Hey.
Yagu, actually almost everyone, Yagu, Bruce, and Errol, you notice one of the wizards kind of made a few hand movements and casted some kind of a spell. Make Arcana checks.
I'm just spell with Harold.
I can't settle it, so if I do it,
Magic.
they're gonna know.
What's magic?
They're gonna
The
know.
fuck is this?
If I do it, if I try
Like,
anything.
we all clearly see it, but we have no idea what the fuck is
Yeah,
going on.
none of you actually are aware that one of them cast tongues on himself. And he seems to be kind of trying to pick on your conversation a little bit. He's not gonna understand fully because they are a bit too far. But unless you are super whispering while you are croaking, they might pick up some of the conversation. But you don't know what spells we casted, so then it's kind of a bit meta.
I
a
assume,
bit
I
out of
assume you
game.
were talking quietly anyway.
Yeah, I will assume so too.
Harold will
Actually, I
just
will
say to
assume
himself.
you will be speaking quietly, but not super whispering, because I guess you wouldn't think that they speak agreeably. That makes sense too.
Yeah.
But now you
Well,
casted a
I'll
spell,
just,
you could assume maybe that's something what they could be doing.
I'll just say, is there ribbit croak? We'll talk about it later. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something ribbit.
Righto. In common.
I like how you think, Bruce. So, we are on the same page then.
Bruce will look to Remy. Is just when Yagu says we're on the same page. I hope so. Remy?
Lucky.
Yeah, Remy is very quiet. No one knows why.
Sorry, I just assume Remy's just gonna be polite and kind most of the trip and stay
I
quiet.
don't think Remy understands Ripley either.
Yeah,
I was
that's
gonna say I
doesn't.
also don't. I was
doesn't.
gonna say I also don't speak Ripley.
So she hasn't been picking up on anything that we've been saying. From
You
her
can,
perspective, Bruce just said righto, and then that was the end of it.
Remy,
Oh,
make
Bruce
a
will then ask
history.
Remy.
Make a history check, Remy, if you want, just to see if you understand which language they're speaking, at least, even though you don't understand the words.
Well, we've established before when we were in the last plane that we were in, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They've spoke
in
Gripply in front
Chult.
of her and
Yeah.
in Schult. They spoke Gripply in front of her and
Okay.
Ebony. So
So she will know. Yeah, that's
Bruce-
a good point.
Bruce will turn to Remy. And go, apologies, Miss Duskweather. Just discussing what we should do, and honesty being the best policy. Are you all right?
I'm still thinking about what happened in Schult. I'm gonna be distracted for a little while,
Of course. I apologize.
of course,
I'll-
and then
Leave it to your thoughts.
of course let's go ahead and finish what we have to do here, and then I'm going to report back to the Church of Salome.
Of course. Miss Duskweather, after we're done with this meeting, or perhaps on the way to the temple, could we talk later?
Sure.
Thank you. We're good.
All right. If no one else wants to speak anymore, you guys keep following the stairs. At this point, you guys think you might have traveled at least 6 or 7 stories high. You are towards the very top layer story of the castle at this point. And you are going up one of those towers that you can see. So the spiral staircase keep going and going and going and going until you are taken to a long corridor
In this long corridor, you see rooms, closed doors everywhere, and the wizard, the druids, one of the druids that are going in front makes also some kind of weird hand movements, and you see that the door itself, you see a kind of mage hand, kind of looking like a mossy kind of vines and kind of like vegetation, opens the pommel of the door, and the door kind of opens wide. The second door opens too as the mage hand moves and opens the other door too, and you see this spacious, almost like a suite from a hotel. There is like 10 beds in this room. There is a middle kind of like a living area. There is a couple of the toilets also en suite, kind of on the corners with doors, individual doors that close, and it's pretty open plan. There is some kind of velvet curtains, paintings, and fine decoration. On the middle of this table, there is jars with some kind of beverage and glasses that have been organized, and there is a very light spread of like biscuits, little sandwiches, like the typical English kind of like beautifully cut little sandwiches on different shapes and stuff like that. And there is some dry fruits and nuts and kind of like fresh fruit as well, all arranged for you. And it's like a low sitting kind of like taburets, like a little for you to sit low on the table as well if you want. And there is sofas all around. And the druid that is on the very front, at this point you see that all the wizards leave except one, the halfling that he was talking to you the most. And the druids say, "Oh, make yourself comfortable here. You will have a couple of hours to rest before the audience with the chancellor. We will summon you. Meanwhile, please be aware that this is a court, a palace, and a castle, and we expect you to behave accordingly. Obviously, you are no insult there. You are great, polite people, and I can see that. And we will see you in a few hours. Relax yourselves and enjoy for now."
Bruce glances at Ziggy, and then the jar of dirt attached to his belt was, of course. Could we cast a spell while we're here? There's a
yes, please.
reason we were.
Of course, make yourselves home as long as it's not damaging anything. There is, as you see, he points towards one of the on the wall. There is some kind of like a circlet that seems to radiate and glow with some arcane energy of some sort. And if you try to do any teleportation or anything like that, unfortunately there is a blocker on the wall. You are not prisoners, you just kindly being kept here. Also, you are not fully. We are kind of like someone is kind of looking at you. If you look at that circlet there, apologies. We are not spying on you. It's for your own safety. He says one of them, and they look at each other, the three of them, like, and look down. This kind of without having to make an inside check. They are bullshitting you.
Bruce will kind of laugh and smile and go, "Yes, of course. It's a very pretty cage. Very comfortable."
I
yes,
mean, compared to the last one, so this is an upgrade.
I agree. I guess
tiny squirrel kind of like comes out of one of them's rope, like goes into his shoulder and kind of look at you, and kind of goes back inside the clothes.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Jada. Excuse me, Mr. Druid, sir.
That's okay.
I slip of the tongue. I
will
apologize.
Do, but yeah, my name is Warhol.
Mr. Warhol, thank you very much. The door is right there. I'm sure you can see yourself out.
Yeah, thank you. They kind of like the three of them kind of turn all at once. Also, Errol, as you are an elf yourself, you will recognize these elves being Eledrin elves. They have the ears like similar to yours when you were in the Feywild. The features are very exaggerated, and they are some kind of like Eledrin, 100% sure. One of them looks more like a wood elf as well, less exaggerated features, but more kind of like greenish colors, similar dark green hair to yours in a way, and they all long beard, kind of walk ominously simultaneously as well. The squirrel kind of like pops out again, looks back all of you, kind of that does this weird thing and kind of like almost like a cheekily go back into the thing, and the druid looks back and smiles, and the door is closed, but another mage hand that appears like almost like a tree branch, and it resonates when they close the door, like the whole room resonates, and you notice the windows are open, but there is no air coming through, so you gather that it's kind of some kind of illusory window. Even though you can see through, you could ascertain that if you try to go through, there is like a glass there that it seems to be quite strong magic once more.
So, okay.
And you
Anyway,
left on
Errol's
your
gonna...
own.
Right.
But as I said, just
Alright,
to
so Errol's gonna
emphasize,
say-
you be looked at. So you
Oh,
can
they told us.
Yeah, they told us,
Yeah.
yes, too, in case you guys
So
didn't get
Errol's
it.
gonna look at the thing that they pointed out. He's like, right, and then Errol's gonna look away from it. Anyway, so should we try to use the scrolls here or somewhere else?
Not here.
Why
You
not?
don't think it'd be a good idea?
No, I want to make sure we're not. I want to bring him back on our own terms, and I do not want to do it in a place we don't know.
That is true. And then also, if he freaks out, we don't need it to be like,
and
any destruction.
he's gonna freak out and I'll pull it out of his bag of holding. This is here. We don't want to bring your dragon back.
That's a
That
good
is
point.
actually
Yeah,
an
that's what I
excellent
want to
point.
say. What if he comes back and say,
By Jove,
Yeah,
you're
so-
right. I didn't actually think of that.
I didn't think of that
Also,
either. Shit.
we-
Okay.
We still need to identify the scrolls to confirm we got
Do
the
we?
right thing.
Oh, actually, I mean, since we're here, Ziggy, do you want to use...
Yep.
Do you want to help him do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
And then he'll just... Do you? Here you go. Or I guess, yeah, the two of them. To make sure they're both the
And-
same thing.
Before anything else goes further, I'm just gonna say this to you all. I am not apologizing.
I mean...
I looked straight at Remy. I'm not apologizing.
Look, what's done is done. We got it out. We'll deal with that as soon as we get with whatever the Chancellor Solfino wants to say. But in the meantime, Remy, is there like a place here in Neverwinter where you would be able to trust somebody with this once we're done here?
Just the Church Saloon.
Okay,
not-
so
Maybe the Church of Bahamut now that we've done a mission with them, but
because we did have a bit of a, we did agree to help you, and considering other sources, we tried to put the book before. It didn't turn out exactly well.
well, if you leave it with out of character, what is the name of that lady that was in the Church of Saloon?
Oh god, that's in my
The
notes.
she's like the arch something.
Yeah, one
Arch.
second.
Oh, the priestess who we saw
The
before,
priestess,
who
yeah,
read the
was-
laws
The
of
priestess.
Saloon. Yeah.
One second, I got my notes here.
We,
Just say that you said the name,
we
I'll
have the
find it.
priestess here. And,
Okay.
yeah, the priestess in this in the Church of Saloon in Neverwinter.
Lady,
She's far
Lady
stronger
Jasmine.
than me.
Lady
Yes.
Jasmine.
Oh, yes, I've met her. Yes.
Yeah, we've met her before. Okay, yeah, that is fair. Okay.
She's very strong, so prying the book out of her hands will be quite the formidable task.
All right, then after we have our conversation with Chancellor Sofina here, we can head out there, go somewhere outside of this city, and we're going to be on
But I-
standby with that, and pointing to Ziggy with the collar, and then we'll do it there.
I do have one question though,
Hmm?
and I've been trying to bite my tongue about this. Ch- Ebony, as you guys know him, his real name was Stripe. He did inform me about one thing. You guys are trying to bring back. You guys know him as Ruin, correct?
Yes.
Why would you want to bring back that evil, if you don't mind my asking? We knew him as Ignis in a long time.
I mean, if I remember correctly, you went over practically what you knew of our files with us, and you would know about him that he was involved in a lot of our adventures. Who am I kidding? The truth is that he is important to what we have going on against the Mother of Dragons.
If you don't mind my
That's the
asking,
honest.
though, I know he went on adventures with you guys, but did he do it of his own whim, or did he do it because he felt like he had to, because you guys strung him along? I just want to make sure that you're bringing him back for the right reason. Like I said, he was once an evil dragon. You know, he destroyed
He's trying to do better.
a city.
He's trying to do better.
That, and we do need him whether we like it or not.
What about you two? You've stayed silent on the situation. Yagu, Bruce.
Well, like we said, he's at least trying.
Acceptance, tolerance, equality. All beings are equal. Life is precious. Those are the tenets of Saloon, so Remy would know that. And Bruce will say, plus, for all his faults and what he did in his past life, he's making an honest to goodness effort to be a better person. Admittedly, he was being forced to, at one point, by beings beyond him or us. Now, though, he does it because he wants to. At least for us, people who have stood beside him. And I believe in second chances.
You
And
do
we've
believe
bled
in
together.
second chances.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you, Remy. Please continue.
No. If you believe in second chances, this is the last favor I have to ask. I know he's not here with us anymore, but he did want to ask you guys. Would you save his brother?
No.
I mean, to be fair, the first time I met his brother, he did
Hang on,
murder a baby and try to kill me.
none of you know who Ebony's brother is. None of you knew who Ebony was.
Oh, I thought they told us. Okay, never mind. Rewind that.
Bruce
That
is the only one
is-
who noticed the resemblance, and he kept it quiet. So was Remy
Actually,
asking
I
everyone
mean,
else?
Harold would have seen his face, to be fair, because he took off his mask while Harold was still there.
Lucky, would you have noticed that?
And it's
Let's.
Yeah, I wanted.
Yeah, Lucky.
When he
You
casted
can
Vortex
answer that.
Warp, he ripped off the helmet in front of Errol before casting the Vortex Warp.
Yeah. So will he have shown his face to anyone else apart from Harold and so far? Then.
Just
I
whoever,
mean, I'm
whoever
not saying
was in that room when he.
Oh,
Okay.
when I
That's okay,
discussed
go
it with
ahead, say what
Lucky,
you
he
wanna say.
said Bruce saw his face when he took it off, and he told us to get out, and then Errol was right next to him when he did it.
Yeah. Okay. So Harold.
Yeah, so when he took it off in the.
Sorry, you keep going. I just cut you off.
I was gonna say when he took off the helmet. He took it off in the room with Errol. So Errol saw it for sure, and then maybe when the portal was closing, anyone who was last going out of the portal would have seen it.
Why don't we do Rollis? The
know,
one who got the highest
better
number
yet-
might have seen him too. Why
I'm
don't we do that?
I'm fine with saying Andy and Errol, or sorry, Bruce and Errol saw him.
Actually, just
So
to
if
make it
you just
easier,
want to
Harold
make
doesn't
them
know.
two, then
I'm
it's
just
no
gonna
point.
retcon.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so just
Perfect.
Bruce saw the face in combination with the chat he had with him earlier, so he only knows that's Gray's brother, or was Gray's brother. So Remy says this, everyone's like, I mean, I guess.
I mean, I guess Harold will say, who was his brother?
Gray Van Dreg.
I thought he looked familiar when he took the helmet off. Anyway,
As you say,
last
Grey Van
time
Drake,
when
just
we-
like a horror movie, you see you hear a horse on the outside, kind of like
Hey,
nice.
okay, that's
I
interesting.
know.
To be
I know
fair,
it's
the first 2 or 3 days I met him, he did murder a baby and tried to kill all of us, including him. And points to Ziggy, did threaten to cut his head off. So I don't know if that would be the best choice.
I read about it in the report from Marin.
You didn't live it.
I know, but it's something that was important to Stripe, or as you guys know him, Ebony. He blamed you guys at first for his brother being influenced. All I'm trying to say is, we at least think about it down the road. You don't have to decide today. You could even say no today, but just remember that he also saved your life. And she'll look at Harold.
That he did, but he also saved the book and he also saved the mission. So it wasn't about me, it was about the mission. That being said, I don't know, maybe I'll think about it. It depends on the context of when we run into him again.
If we run into him again.
Mm.
But
We will run into him.
for now, or yes, run into Grape. For now, let's not worry too much about the politics here and the trouble that it'll cause. I'm sure the Church of Saloon will reach out and send some sort of letter of condolence or some sort of report or something to get us out of trouble. But if there was any other questions you guys had for me or for the Church of Saloon, I'd be glad to answer them.
Did Grey and Ebony have any family?
Just their mother, as far as I heard. Ebony never really, or Stripe never really talked to anyone else.
Does she stay in Neverwinter?
Out of game. I
No,
think
she
you
stays-
someone met their parents because you guys went with
Baldur's
Grey
Gate.
to the
They're in
temple and they
Baldur's Gate.
didn't remember him? Or was he alone? I can't
Aki,
remember.
Aki.
Aki, yeah?
didn't-
Okay.
No, it was Aki.
It was Aki, okay.
Aki was the only one who met his mother.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just couldn't remember who it was. Thank you, Aki. Keep going.
Okay. I believe his mother only resigned in Baldur's Gate. But honestly, I don't know much more than that. He tried to keep me at shoulder's length. Or arm's length.
So he wouldn't have told you her name.
Mother of the Dregs?
Well, Gray, to my recollection, before everything, he worshipped Bahamut before worshipping the Mother of Dragons, right? To my memory?
Yes.
So,
Correct.
we'll just make a stop at Baldur's Gate when we're done with everything to go to the Temple of Bahamut. We'll see if people recognize either him or Stripe, and then we'll go from there. We'll narrow it down. We'll make a day of it.
I just wanted to tell his mother that. Never mind. And Bruce will go off to
It's-
sit on one of the beds.
It's probably best to not bring up old wounds for their mother, maybe.
In that regard, we know what we're going to do with the book afterward. One more question, Remy. Do you know of any good isolated locations where we can attempt to bring back a dragon if we had to? Decide that nobody else gets hurt around here?
Would she know?
Because we're
Yeah.
definitely not going to do it here.
Your mic
You're-
is-
you're- you're
muted,
muted.
Cisco.
A Discord mute. Yep.
Sorry, I know. I
There
was
you go.
saying, could you repeat the question? I missed it again.
Would,
Sure. So
Rem-
the question. Oh, go on.
No, that's okay. Would Remy know of any places to summon a large creature that is isolated and not going to endanger the townsfolk?
What do you mean to summon a large creature? I'm not understanding it fully.
To possibly
Harold's
summon Ruin.
indirectly asking to summon Ruin, yeah, to bring Ruin back, because we're
Okay.
all under the impression we bring back Ruin, he's gonna come back as a dragon, not as his fairy self. So
Yeah, I mean, you can all make a. Which check will this be actually? History check, maybe.
Okay.
Just
I'd assume we
quickly.
just go somewhere outside the city limits, far away from it, and then do it in a
Yeah,
secluded
but what's
area.
considered far enough outside the city limits? Because we were
I've
just.
got a general idea of how to do it. If I take the lead, I have a general idea.
All right. All right, Ziggy. Well,
Let's say
in that
anyone
case,
go higher than a 15?
yeah, a couple of us did actually.
Okay. So
Me
those
and Remy did.
those of you who did, it will be harder for Remy because she didn't actually met. This is more like something that Harold is remembering. You know that when his collar broke last time, it was repaired almost immediately, and then it didn't become a collar anymore. It was more like a coin that was on his neck. It wasn't on the shape of a collar anymore. So that coin, when he transformed into a dragon afterwards, it wasn't possible to break. So this time when he turned into a dragon, he was an undead dragon. There was no collar on him at any point. So you gather that it's very likely you bring him back, he will be, or you will be 100% sure almost that if you bring him back, he will be ruined. It wouldn't be the dragon. The dragon was an undead creature that came summoned more like a Tiamat kind of thing, rather. So you will think that it's very likely because his collar is no longer a collar, it's more like a coin. It cannot really be broken. So if you were to bring Ruin back, he will be Ruin, not a dragon. 100% sure.
Well, okay, it was just because of the way that Ziggy mentioned with. Okay, I thought he had the coin or something like that, but I guess not.
Yeah, it was kind
in
of
that
stuck
case,
to his neck. It's like imagine like
thought
a
we
Frankenstein.
mentioned.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought we
Yeah, 'cause
mentioned
they
that
had the
we
collar.
found it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just didn't want to go into that detail and interrupt you because it wasn't really relevant at the time. But it's not really a collar anymore. It's
Well,
it's a coin.
okay, in
yeah.
that case, Errol
Still
will
don't wanna
just think to
interfere.
himself for a moment.
When he broke it
Errol
last
will just.
time, it became that.
Okay. So Errol will just think to himself, and then he'll just say, Ziggy, any progress with identifying those scrolls? This will all be a moot conversation if we failed.
Yeah, I'll just cast identify on both of them.
Mhm.
Okay. Time passes. Do it as a ritual, I assume, or
Yeah, we've got time for it.
yeah.
Yep.
So as time passes, yeah, there are scrolls of true resurrection. Nothing weird. You also have a couple of items as well. You have an orb, and you have some kind of instrument as well that you found in the place in the hold. Would you like to identify those two?
Yeah, I might as well. I mean, we said we would be here for a few hours, so even if I do it
Yep.
at rituals, that's only 40 minutes.
Yeah, perfect.
So then, after Ziggy identifies, Errol will be like, "All right, so if they're both the scrolls, could I have one of them back? You
Yeah,
could use the other one.
I don't think we should use the other one.
You don't think so?
No. The minute we get room back, I think we should either get rid of this as soon as possible or burn it. We
I mean,
shouldn't
I
have
was
this
gonna
power.
say. Well, I
We
was gonna
shouldn't have
say
this
we
power.
use it. I have an idea about the second use of it.
Oh.
We shouldn't have this power.
I was gonna say, depending on how it went back there, if we use it on Stripe, he did save my life, so maybe we could just save his in return.
Do we have his body?
No.
Does it matter if it's his body? So
Yeah, you don't need it.
I thought the whole
it
point
doesn't,
No.
because
I
it's
thought the whole
true
point of us
resurrection.
getting a bottle of dust of ruin was
You-
because
No.
we needed something.
You just need his name.
I have a suggestion. Bruce is sort of lying back on the bed, so I have a suggestion. We left an old friend in a forest to the south of Candlekeep.
That is,
You wouldn't
if
have
you
met
want to
him, I
bring
would.
him back, that's up to you
Actually, I
guys.
think I'm the only one who knows him, so it's a. He's been in the embrace of his god Tyr for some time now. I'm not even
Well,
sure it'd be
I'm-
kind of kindness to bring him back.
Hmm.
Maybe actually, wait, no. We could, if you hear me out, could we give the other scroll to his father?
What, let him decide?
Yes,
Hmm.
it was his son after all.
Are we talking about the smith?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about Bycroft.
I suppose so. That'd probably be a better place for it. I don't think we should hold that power.
trust Bycroft.
Bruce and Yago, you can make religion checks if you want. Actually, and you as well, Remy. Okay, let me just have
Does
a
it have
look.
anything to do with Fey Fiends or undead?
Oh,
No,
just
you have advantage
perfect.
because of Ziggy.
Perfect time for
this.
Indirectly, it has to do with undead-ish.
Natural 20.
Wow, fucking hell, look at that. It's amazing. Look at those religion checks, guys.
Online fist bump, lucky.
Yeah, I know. Wow, that was sensational, yeah. Okay, so all of you know, some of you even like 100% zealously? I don't know if that's a...
Seamlessly.
No, it's to do with
Seamlessly.
zealot. I'm not sure if that could be made into an adjective, actually.
Zealously.
Zealously, yeah,
Is
I
that
don't
what
know
you
if
meant?
that's a thing, yeah. You know 100% sure with a surety and a very strong religious belief that being a religious person as he was, being a paladin, you also know that normally, based on that, things that you know about the afterlife, a god who thinks their chosen mission hasn't finished will bring them back. So the fact that he wasn't brought back to life by his god here means that by his order and his beliefs, his father and him will not want to be brought back to life. Just because it means, due to their religion and their beliefs, it means that when you are super believer of a god, if your god doesn't bring you back, that means that your mission is over. So being a paladin as well, you will know that he wouldn't want to be bring back to life, 100% sure. So it's very likely his father wouldn't definitely want to respect his son's beliefs on religion. Let's put it.
So in that case,
I might
we
be
could
Will you
just-
agree with that, Luke? Actually, because you were playing him, I remember you actually be given the choice to bring him back, and you didn't want because you. I believe you said that pretty much that he knew.
It was more a situation of forgetting we were meeting clerics who could have revived him. That was the issue at the time.
No,
But,
we
yeah,
talk
that
about
makes
it,
sense.
and we discussed him coming back as a reborn, and you decided not to in the end because he wouldn't. Is not what his god would have wanted for him,
Yeah,
right? I remember.
It works for me. Yeah.
That's why I said we give it to Bycroft, and Bycroft are going to make the decision to either
So
do
you
it.
will know that
Bycroft
Bycroft would not want to do that either, because as well as you knew
once
him.
Again,
yeah.
Once again, it'd also be me making the decision.
I get you, but
I think-
it's.
Yeah.
I just like to give it to
I think
Bycroft.
letting Luke and give it to Bycroft the father, just like for closure's sake.
Yeah, it's
I
up
mean, you
to him, and he
guys,
can still say
he's
no.
already gotten his closure, though, to be fair. So,
Yeah.
well, either
I
way,
say sell
I
it.
mean,
I mean,
honestly,
if you wanna
I was
bring
gonna say we
Bycroft, if you wanna
bring-
bring your character back, Luke, and swap for a while, I'm happy with that.
I mean,
or even to join
Well,
you
let's
for
talk
a
about
bit.
it on
I don't
Yeah,
want
you
to
can
play.
do it
I
offline.
don't want to play a level 4 paladin.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Let's
He
talk
will
about-
still be
let's
level
talk-
four, though.
let's just progress with whatever we're gonna do. Errol will just say, "Find Ziggy until the right time. You can just hang on to it for now because you always did tell him you were the one in charge of life and death. So I guess it should be appropriate. You should be the one to do it when."
Fine, but I don't trust myself with it.
Then I'll hold it.
Yeah, just hold on to it. Don't do anything
All right,
stupid.
then I'll hang on to the other Scroll of True Resurrection. But you hang on to that one because that is the one you're going to use on Rome, though.
Yes, I'm going to bring Ruin back with this one. However, honest to God, this is too much power for us.
Okay, fine. I can hold on to both, and
No,
then
it's
when
just-
you. Oh,
I'm going to use it on Ruin the minute we get a chance to. I just think we should get rid of the second one as soon as possible.
I can sell it.
Yes, I think we should get rid of it or give it to somebody. Just give it to
Just a
somebody. who's
DM
actually
advice,
just
not
alright.
that I want to interfere, but the reason why I gave you 2 is because you're very high level and there is a chance your characters might die again, so I will recommend you to
I
keep
mean,
it
Harold might
yourselves,
not,
but it's
may
up
not
to
agree
you.
with selling it. Harold may be the type that's like wanting to hang on to it still. So Harold's just like, all right, look,
This
we're
is a
gonna bring back
lifeline
Ruin,
we're giving
and
you.
then we're gonna see, like, And then who knows? Maybe if either Stripe is dead, we can bring him back. But anyway. All right, Ziggy, we know your scrolls. You've identified the other items. That's very good. In the meantime, I'm going to take an hour to meditate. If you guys need me, let me know. In the meantime, I'm basically asking for a short rest outside of game.
Yeah, definitely. You will have, at this point, it's been like an hour already has passed. You're still waiting there. So please take a short rest, everyone.
I'm going to use all of my hit die.
Maybe half for me.
I know I need all of it. All of it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I just like to rub it in that I'm a paladin.
Like, I was almost dead.
I'm
I
one,
know, I played you.
I'm 1 HP away from maximum after rolling my hit die.
Amazing.
I'm fine.
So,
I'm fine where I am.
I am 2 HP away from my max.
Yeah.
Can we
Oh
get
no,
a
wait,
song
I
of
cure
short-
wounds on myself. I never healed myself. Never mind.
Can we get a song of
Song of
short rest?
Yeah. Yeah. I can do that. All of you get an extra D8.
Would you like to perform
do
it with
whatever-
the new instrument that you found? It's some kind of.
I don't
It's
know what the new
actually
instrument is
called.
yet.
It's called a Klee lyre. It's kind of like a little guitar
lyre.
looking thing, but it's got the same. It's like a mix of a guitar and a how is it called? And a lyre, actually. Yeah.
Lyre?
Yeah.
Oh, a harp.
Yeah. It's a mix between a
Lyre
guitar
done.
and a harp. Actually, I'll put a picture of it
Yeah.
on the stream.
A
in
lyre's a
second.
small harp, one you can hold in your hands and walk
Yeah,
around with.
yeah. It's like a portable
Yeah, I
harp.
actually, so I can't actually, I don't have proficiencies with a lyre. Just
You should
letting
have-
you know, no, I don't.
What?
I'll give
start with
you
all
because you're a bard. I'll
No.
give you
No, bards-
advantage if you
bards
want to
only get-
perform, just for fun.
Yeah,
For
you
this
go.
Bards
one, you
only get-
don't have to have proficiency, it seems like.
Yeah, no, I picked items. I never picked lyre, and I use a lyre constantly now. It's
But
very
this
funny.
is how it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy.
I'm
Bards only
aware.
get brain instruments.
Oh, I thought it was all of
um,
them. Never mind.
Yeah, no. What is it to like add to inventories as well as the
So
orb?
what
'Cause-
they do in terms of instruments, so you have the Klee lyre is an instrument of the bards actually,
Oh right, yeah.
and you have the Klee lyre one that is rare. It can cast spells, stone shape, wall of fire, and wind walk. I think it's once per day. Just check it on the spell. I can post the link
Yeah,
to the
I've
if
got
you
it.
want.
I've got it.
So instrument of the bards, and the orb is called Orb of the Stain Rune. It's a wondrous item, also rare. This orb is made of is the size of a human fist. It's a stained stone rune. Has a stained rune on it. It's got like a crystalline veins. It's like a glass orb, and it has the following properties that only work while you are attuned to it on your person. Indomitable stand is as an action you can use the magic of the orb and nothing can move you pretty much. And if they try to move you, they have to make some kind of check to be able to. You become immune to being petrified. You can also use melt into stone as a bonus action once per long rest. And also you can transfer the orb's magic to either a shield or a pair of boots, and then it does different things when you do that as well, slightly.
Yeah, I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll mention all that, and I'll just. I can't really. I'll give the orb to Bruce and say, one of you could potentially use this. It's got some great benefits, but I'd recommend the barbarians of the group to potentially use it, as it could be something if you're going to be shot a lot.
Looks at
My
the arrow
attunement
that you guys
slots are
stuck in
very
his-
full.
Stuck in his
Yeah.
ribs.
And the lyres could be useful. However, I'm Herald.
Hmm?
Do you potentially have something? Because I could use both the lyre as well as my other lyre, but I would need to give something away.
Are you okay? Are you basically out of game? Are you asking me if I have any more attunement slots?
Yeah. Do you want my pearl of power?
I mean, I don't think it'd be a good idea for me to unattune from any of the items that I have.
Okay.
So
In that case, I'll just say if anybody wants it, then it is fair game, and I'll give Bruce the orb and my pearl of power. It's basically a free third level spell slot each day, and I'll unattune from it and try and attune to this lyre as I'd like both lyres. To be fair, just for more spells.
An orb and a pearl
Yeah,
of power. Is this
amazing.
some? Okay. At half time, I'll ask what they are,
Yeah.
and then we'll get all sorted out.
And I'll attune to the lyre as well as unattune from the thingy pearl.
Awesome. Does anyone else would like to do anything else, or should we, or more conversations that you wanna have, or you wanna move forward a little bit?
I'm good with moving forward if you guys are.
It's 5 to 9. I really need to pee. Could we go on a quick break and then maybe get back to it
Sure,
for
if
our
you,
conversation with Chancellor
yeah,
Sabina?
if you guys are happy with that, yeah, I'm happy to do that
Mhm.
too. I need to go for a wee too, to be honest with you, but cool. So let's just do that. Let's do a little break now. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you very shortly. Until then, yeah, see you soon. Bye bye. All right.
Bye.
All right, and we are back. Thanks for holding on, guys. Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Thank you for holding on. And we are now moving to our second chapter of our adventure as our heroes, having waited now for a couple of hours, is starting to get to kind of like a evening time. The sun is already disappearing into the sky. The blues and beautiful clear skies are turning to purples, to blacks, reds, going through all these different facets of colors until the sun goes completely red and orangey, and then finally night arrives to our day. And through the window you see all this, and at that point you all hear a knock in the door, and before you even reply, the door opens wide, like kind of thing.
Very realistic.
Yeah. And you see once more the wizard, two wizards this time, a halfling wizard wearing these kind of red and white robes. They are not kind of like a Wizard of Thay kind of color. It's more like a red, orange, yellow, and white, more like resembling the crown, the Lord's Alliance crown kind of colors. But yeah, they said, "Oh, hi. I hope you are enjoying your stay. Whenever you are ready, would you have liked to, actually out of game, just rewind. You don't want to bring Ruin back here, right?"
No.
If we
Probably
can, I
no.
wouldn't mind, but I think we'll leave it to just after.
Okay. Because that means, sure, I'm happy either way. Cool. Okay, so whenever you guys are ready, this is my friend Calvin, and I am Lordwick. So Lordwick myself, and this is Calvin. Whenever you guys are ready, please, if you will follow me, Chancellor Sofina is ready to meet you.
What are the species of Lorwick and Calvin?
So Lordwick is a halfling, and Calvin is a high elf.
Got ya.
And that's everyone kind of follow.
Yep. Bruce will step
Actually,
forward.
as well, Mark, question for Yagu. How long does the elemental last, the turtle mithril elemental? Because I describe it as being rocky. I realize it's crystally rocky, rather. But is it like a conjure elemental spell? I think we decided, even though it's not a spell, but will it last for an hour, or how long does it last? If you can look into
It
it.
says using a bonus action, it can conjure a random elemental. Must roll 1d20 or it go berserks. Either way, it takes turn after master, lasts 1 minute. 1 minute only, so
Oh,
it's
really?
already
Okay.
gone.
All right. So then he kind of disappeared when the flying saucer came. All right. Cool. I will have love for the elemental to be there still.
Yeah. Can we change it? Like, he's just there spiritually.
If you want out of combat just for fun and giggles, we could have the elemental there for now, just for in terms of battling elemental, is more like his presence remains for a while, just for fun, if that's what you want. So yeah, you
If
still
everyone
see that
agrees, I
huge,
prefer, yeah.
that huge
You
mythal
got a free
turtle.
horse.
yeah, you could use it as some kind of a steed, and then you can summon him once per day, last, let's say, 12 hours. But once after the minute, it becomes non-combatant, more like it, but it still remains more like a steed or whatever you want. Cool. So as you follow with this huge crystal turtle, kind of large creature behind you, all of you go and start going down, descending a few levels, until you get to this beautiful hall, kind of like a throne room without a throne, something like that, if that's something you could imagine. And in there is like a table with chairs, kind of like a long one of those tables that if you were to dine on it, they will be so far away from your other person who were dining with you. and in there, sitting on the table, you see a figure, dressed woman, dressed in wizardry robes. They are black robes. We'll put a display, an image on the stream, how she looks like. However, imagine her robes are black and not red. Because you know who it is out of game, right? Everyone knows. Everyone's seen the movie, right? So you know who this person is, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, fuck.
No, I still haven't watched it.
Yeah. She doesn't
Yep.
have the horn
Oh,
on this picture, but as you all enter, she kind of like stands up politely. Hello, welcome all. I am Chancellor Solfina. Nice to meet you. And she looks towards you straight into the eyes, Errol, straight away.
Mm.
You all see that Errol tattoo flares for a quick second, and then on his own, it kind of like vanishes, and she looks at it. And that makes that sound actually as well.
A pleasure, Chancellor Sofina. May we sit?
Yes, I'm sorry for bringing you here in this fine evening, but there is matters we have to address. Would you all like to sit down and perhaps get some refreshments?
Would love to.
Okay. As all of you sit, she makes a hand movement. All the chairs of the table move back on their own. And you, at this point, even though you don't see it, you gather that there is some invisible servants operating in this table as trays start floating in the air and beverages are served, but you don't see anyone serving them. They're just like floating, things are floating into the air, and you gather she probably has a few invincible servants. As you all have your beverages and whatever else, whatever drink you were thinking of, that will be what is up here on each of your silver jugs that you've been served into these fine glasses or cups, or whatever drink you had in mind is what materializes. One second, because I need to do something. I forgot. Just a very quick second. Just need to
You'll
open
notice
that.
Bruce is putting on his best. He's on his very, very best sort of courtly behavior, but you can tell this is very practiced. He's whenever he goes this form before, it's because he feels this is a very tense situation, very awkward.
Yeah.
Or that's how he feels anyway.
Errol just sits down. He doesn't take any drinks. He's not thirsty. He just sits down, following the lead of the rest of the group.
Ziggy will be in a nice outfit.
Of course.
Oh, if he could, Jago would be wearing the suit from the auction.
Say it again, Yagu.
You know, the suit that we got from the auction.
yeah.
Jago will be wearing that one
Oh, nice.
as
Yes.
formally as possible.
You would have dressed up beforehand.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
some
now
reason,
I think about that, that's what I would have done.
For some reason, all I can think about is Yagu in one of those those shirts the t-shirts that are a suit and tie sort of joke shirts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can feel like you just have one of those like wrapped around you because you obviously can't wear that, but it's like stapled onto your stomach, I guess.
Kind of like the Hulk would wear a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah. Just,
Big hole
just kind of
cut out back.
wearing it as like sort of a cover rather than actually wearing the t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's like a bib.
Harold, make a perception check. Just quickly.
Okay. Perception. Let's go. Oh, that could have ended badly. The duality.
Just tell me what you rolled.
Ziggy. 24.
You think you saw a shadow on one of the corners, almost like an spectral servant, similar to something that you remember were the kind of like a shadowy creature that Ruan used to summon. I can't remember. I forgot their name now.
Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow. He had a name though. I can't remember what the name was. But
I think that was the actual name. Was just Shade. Sorry.
Shade. Yeah, that was it. So
It was close. I didn't want to. You seem so happy.
So you think you saw something like that in one of the corners? It made eye contact with you. It had like orangey eyes, and as you saw it, it kind of retreat through the wall.
Strange.
The reason why only you is making the perception check is because no one else can see that. Only you, actually.
Okay, but anyway, Errol's just gonna sit and relax.
Okay.
The group's having a conversation. He doesn't want to say anything, so.
So whenever you are ready, now that you have your drinks and everything, I'm gonna try to put my best soft voice, but it's not happening so far. Whenever you have your drinks and everything, we can start talking. Everyone ready?
Sure.
So a glass of wine, kind of like this.
So, I guess you're all aware why you are here. As my wizards already informed you, you have broken the law of Neverwinter. You are aware of that, are you?
Well, actually, the wizards didn't have much to say. They didn't really mention much. They just mentioned it was potentially an issue.
Yes, there is a law. It stops anyone who uses our teleportation circle from bringing creatures that could be detrimental to the town's safety. You did bring a treaty that seemed quite powerful.
We dealt with him before any damage was caused.
I understand your predicament. Either way, you did break the law. That's why you are here. Also, the reason why you are comfortably sitting in the palace rather than in a more discomfort situation is because who you are. We investigated on you and find out that you are quite well known and reassured, guaranteed to be trusted and either recommended by the great reader of Candlekeep. You are the Caravan of Chaos, I assume, right? That's what we've been told.
Guilty as charged, and good to know your laws only apply to those without the influence to leverage. As he smiles and takes a drink.
We know who you are as well, Mr. Lockwood. My condolences.
You're too kind.
Yes. We also were that you had issues with the law before. With your friend, the Dragonborn, who I don't see here. Believe you escaped.
Please don't mention that. It's a touchy subject.
Okay.
You're
Fair
correct,
enough.
Chancellor. You do not see him here. I'm just going to do something here. Bruce is trying and Bruce has gone very stony faced, but it's very obvious he's keeping he's roiling behind the eyes, but you can tell he's clamping down on that.
She kind of looks at you with this kind of face. She seems to be perceptive enough to notice your awkwardness.
he knows this.
And obviously, as Ziggy mentioned as well, her demeanor kind of changes. Oh, I didn't mean to bring that up. The point was that you have a history, some of you, and that's what I wanted to point out. I don't recognize most of you. Somehow, you seem a bit familiar as well, Mr. Emmerfield. I don't know why. With this kind of lifting her eyebrow kind of scenario for a second.
Would I be allowed to insight check that? Or
Sure,
no?
go ahead.
Okay. Before Errol says anything. It's a 22. She might actually beat it, so.
Yeah, with that 22.
She's a chance that she's a politician.
Yeah, with that 22, you gather that she's referring to the fact of your Wizard of Thay background. You aren't sure why. She's very hard to read of why she's actually mentioning it, but you gather being a high mage based on what you
imagine her to be, she's definitely a wizard, you know that as well. And you think that somehow she's referring to something related to your background of Thean, and she knows that, and she's kind of just playing with you.
Well, to my memory, we never met before, but I imagine it would have popped out to me if we have. So your guess is as good as mine.
Yes, certainly. The world is a cloth after all that wraps us all. Who knows? Perhaps you just look like someone. Who knows? Anyway, unfortunately, the governor seems to be very busy today, and he will not be able to receive you until the morning. So he has entrusted me to spit out, let's say, all the relevant information and let you decide until the morning to consider the facts without having to decide anything yet. But it will be good if you did decide on the outcome of our conversation. Before you make up your mind, I'll keep explaining you. You have broken one law that stops evil creatures entering our city through a teleportation circle. You have also casted magic without authorization, war magic specifically. You have spilled blood on our teleportation circle of a creature, elemental creature, without knowing the repercussions. There was some salamanders as well, very dangerous. Everything seems to be... We will need to perform a trial, potentially. That might take a few days, potentially a week or so, a 10-day, before the trial takes place. Until then, you will have to be either comfortably in our castle, or perhaps on a lower means, more restrictive accommodation based on how this conversation ends today. Plus the High Court unpleasantness. And obviously, very likely, you will end up getting a fine, probably a couple of thousand gold pieces each, plus a bit more, who knows. I see you brought also an evil genie with you, perhaps? She looks towards Gus, who has been awfully quiet.
He's just a genie.
Not
Nothing evil about him,
my
he's just a
lady.
genie.
You don't have to judge me just because I'm a genie. Yes,
Very quick to assume that we were the problem, Chancellor,
I mean,
and
we
not
see you as a
the
group.
creatures that chased us.
We don't have the creatures that chased you here to defend themselves, so we only have to believe you, really. But I'm no judge. I'm just explaining the facts of how we see things from our objective point of view. But now that you
course,
explained that you are not an evil genie, that's a good thing to know. Thank you, sir. Of course, my lady. And he kind of like looks, kind of leans into the table of like us in a kind of comfortable way. Then she looks towards you, Remy. Also, I'm aware you are some kind of lycanthrope, are you, my dear?
Yes, I'm with the church saloon.
Oh, religious ones.
Most of
Nice.
us. Yeah, most of us are lycanthropes.
She kind of scans, kind of looking for signs of that.
Bruce holds his hand up to show his ring with the symbol, to show he's with the clergy of Saloon as well.
She kind of stops and kind of keeps looking at you all. Very good. I understand that... yes, religion is good. Everyone has to have their beliefs, don't they? But that doesn't make you more trustworthy. This is the law. This is a court. But yes, the fact that you are a religious person kind of implies that you have a more benign alignment. That is something that will play in your favor as well, if you were to get to the court.
I'm sure the clergy could put in a good word for us and explain our actions.
I bet. We've
Also,
also heard, Archie. You go, my dear. What were you saying?
does self-defense not matter at all in this situation? Because that's why it was self-defense.
Oh, yes, definitely will matter. Like I said already, I'm not a judge. Do you speak for the group? Are you the leader?
No, definitely not.
Oh,
I'm not trusting myself with that burden.
all right. I mean, you seem to have quite a voice, so perhaps you should all make him the leader. But he seems to be speaking for you all.
We were told that you also had something of a mission for us, or something that you wanted to bring us in here for, besides
Yes,
just reading off recent events.
yes, that's why we thought, as you have been vouched down, you are religious people, as you say, and your intentions are good. The governor has decided that, based on your reliability and your great skills, Neverwinter will kindly like you to request for you to do a mission for the Lord's Alliance instead of all that unpleasantness. And perhaps instead of paying that fine, we will pay you something. Obviously, the price is adjusted as each of you will potentially will have had to pay a fine. We will be more than happy to give you 500 gold pieces each. Some potion as well for the mission if you were to take it. And pardon your fine as well. If you were to... Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying Bruce looks to his friends and turns back to Safina, still with the glass of wine in his hand, so trying to look quite relaxed, but you already know he's not relaxed really. Well, good to know that your laws are held in such regard. Once you know that we've got something we could help you with.
Yes, I mean...
What do you think, fellows?
And Cisco, feel free to make an insight check on Harold as to what he's thinking about this situation if you want. But
Yeah.
basically, the rest of you guys would know him, and he's basically feeling very uneasy about her specifically. Not the fact that he has to work, but as every time she brings up, "Oh, you're familiar," every time she even looks in his direction, there's something about him that feels very uncomfortable and uneasy being around her.
Yep. Okay.
But yeah, that's what and Cisco, you would get that too.
Yeah.
I just wanted.
She got a 1921
Yep.
on an insight.
You
But
would
she
know
keeps
all that,
looking
that
at
there's
you
something about.
sternly.
Well, doesn't sound like there's really many other comfortable options.
I mean, becoming friends and allies of the Lord's Alliance has its benefits as well. And I am aware that some of you even are from this part of the Lord Alliances already. Your father was, once more, Mr. Lockwood. And your... I believe... She looks at you.
It's good to know you speak for the Lord's Alliance as well as the governor of Neverwinter.
Yes.
You've risen high.
We, Governor Fitzgerald is very connected to the Lord's Alliance. So, as always, has Neverwinter been as well, since all the bad things happening and the events of Mount Hope now a few years ago. It was very unfortunate. All of you can make a history check, actually, as she says that, to see how much you know about that.
Ooh, okay.
I'm
just
Taylor
not
Swift.
rolling.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Nice.
Oh wait, no, shit, that's 22.
Oh, well,
It
I
is.
mean,
I'm very tired.
you know, you could have let him have that anyway. So I think the highest is 21.
Okay. Yeah,
You're
so you
stupid.
will
That's
know
21.
that Neverwinter was very different city, but this kind of mountain kind of opened a few years ago. It was like a really bad incident that occurred, and since then the city itself changed dramatically. Most of the city was destroyed, and there was some kind of elemental creature that came out of the mountain on Neverwinter, and that's why it's called Neverwinter as well. The river itself keeps warm all the time because there was this creature resting, and it still rests there. So there was a huge fracture on the whole city itself through the river. Lots of the districts were destroyed and rebuilt, and that happened like around 50 years ago, roughly. So any one of you who got a 12 or higher, as you all are from the Stork Coast, roughly, you will have known of these events, and that's what she's referring to. But you know, Waterdeep, I assume it will be interest for you to Baldur's Gate, and Waterdeep is a city that all kind of adventurers normally frequent. And as well as you coming from Silvery Moon, Mr. Logwood, you will get certain benefits like tax-free shopping. That is always something good to have.
How high are the taxes here?
Sorry?
Like, how are the taxes? Like,
Well,
love the idea.
unaware to you, all of you actually normally pay tax for everything you buy in Faerun.
yeah, I've learned about that.
Mhm.
I'm just curious, how much is your percentage in this?
Oh, 10% discount. So it's a tax-free shopping. Mainly for magical things and weapons and stuff like that. It wouldn't be a discount on food or things that the common folk will require. Is more like an adventure novel, higher status, if you know what I mean. Thing.
So, including business expenses.
Well, unfortunately not. More like a
Damn it.
magical arcane shopping, weapons, things like that, of that type. I see you are acquired with rather a magical composure here of different accoutrements and things. He kind of like
No,
scans you all.
we don't touch the stuff.
Sorry, dear?
We don't touch magic at all. I say my magic outfit, with my magic instruments, with my
She
magic
kind
chains
of
and necklaces.
smiles with this kind of force, like kind of like a really bad way.
Holding out Yadu's magic mushrooms. Yeah, we don't touch the stuff.
So listen, as pleasant as being around you is, what is the favor you
Indeed.
need from us? Because I think we're
Well,
pretty unanimous there.
we will need you to take a 3 evenings mission. You will be guarding through the city of Neverwinter. There has been strange occurrences happening, and we require someone to investigate on a cult that has arisen in the city and many places around Faerun. We believe is the cult of the Whispered One, and unusual things keep happening lately. And with your skills and connections, perhaps you can help us. So we will need you to do around 8-hour shifts in the evenings. We will be paying you, like I mentioned, 500 gold pieces each, plus free accommodation in the castle, or if you prefer a more mundane accommodations where you could be more comfortable, that's okay with us. Whichever way, we could otherwise set you in the inn, in the local inn, one of the local inns, if you prefer. We are happy for you to stay with us in the castle, but we understand it feels probably a little bit pushed. So either way, it's okay with us.
I'm if I'm speaking for the group, if anyone's okay with that. I'm willing,
Carry on.
however, I'd really only stay under in the castle with stipulation that any of the watchful eyes we had in our previous waiting room were removed. I don't want to be watched while I sleep.
Oh, well, unfortunately, that's the castle rules. We need to watch people who are under supervision, let's say, as much as we trust you. Perhaps
After all,
once you accept the
after all-
mission, perhaps we could lay down on the watchful eyes, as you refer them to. Make a persuasion check, Ziggy.
While he's doing that, Bruce will say, well, after all, Ziggy, they've made it quite clear how much they value their laws and how they apply to all people.
24.
Well, that could be an option. Otherwise, as I mentioned, we could get you a more humble accommodations on the beach Leviathan. And you guys will remember that's kind of like a galleon inn that is on the town itself. In the water, kind of by the side. But yes,
Before we
will.
do accept anything, though,
Mhm.
we have some business we need to deal with first.
Yes, I mean, this will be only evening work, so you will have the whole day for yourselves for those 3 days.
Right, well, while we're here then, you could probably ask us the location. We need somewhere private. Just somewhere safe and private for about an hour and a half, maybe.
I know
Yes,
somewhere we could go,
That's not a
Ziggy.
problem. You could just freely roam about. But before that happens, you will have to verbally agree to join the Lord's Alliance and partake to the mission for you to be free to roam. If that makes sense, obviously, we wouldn't want you to commit errors that could
Well-
lead to worse outcomes.
Technically, Chancellor, the Lockwoods are already a part of the Lord's Alliance.
Yes, your
And,
father was.
I would like...
Since you
I
changed
would
your
like-
surname, perhaps we are unsure whether your alliances lead to Mr. Moonbear. And
Well, you
she's-
better make up
that's
your
like
mind
a
what you wish
half
to call
smile.
me. Yeah, so Bruce will respond, well, you better make up your mind what you wish to call me then. I never
mean-
legally changed my name.
I heard you change your name to potentially deter enemies towards your family names. That's right. Something like that.
Oh, you can assume what you wish.
Which surname would you prefer? I'm happy either way. Or I could just call you
Moonbear.
Bruce. Moonbear. Sure. Yes, technically your father was part of our alliance. However, you will have to, that doesn't transfer to you, so we will have to verbally, it's called, it's something that we call a word bounding rune, you see. Once you join verbally and agree to it, a little mark will appear on you, and that mark will remain there for life. An arcane mark, nothing that you will be able to see unless you look for it, but it will mean that you are friends and allies of the Lord's Alliance. It's not something you can revoke. However, we will never call you against your will. All our missions are 100% optional and voluntary. It just will mean that once you work with us, you are an ally of us. And these discounts and benefits will apply to all the cities that our alliances encloses. So it's all a win-win situation here.
So, could I roll something to see if what she's saying is absolutely true? Because like
Sure.
player Randy is like, wait a minute, she wants us for a job, so she's making it's like once you work with us, you are on our side, you are allies, and you
Yeah.
get the tattoo to prove it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, Bruce is kind of like, hang on a minute.
Make an
Could I
It
roll
sounds like
something?
yeah.
Any,
Sounds like
anyone who
something
wants to can
Scientology
make
would do.
an inside check, yeah, on that statement.
Yeah, because
Yep.
Bruce is now really suspicious of what is this going to be in this mark.
God damn it. The 15. Do I
26.
hold on? I'm gonna
Of
check
course,
something real
natural
quick.
one.
Hold on, just I need to check if I have any more. I'm not gonna use it for that. No. All right, it's a 15. I mean, I'm already distrusting the situation, but
Yeah,
I'm
Bruce
left to
can't
the
read her.
whims of the group.
Yeah, Bruce can't read her.
Nat
Okay.
20, 26.
Amazing. So, those of you who got, yeah, I will say because here I only see rolls. Are you rolling? Are you okay to roll to play Remy Lucky?
I imagine Remy's not gonna stay with the group and go on this mission, is she? Like she wouldn't really
For
be
the
that
time
interested,
being,
is she?
she's not really given a choice so far. She's part of, as far as the law, she's broken the law too. So I'm not saying you're gonna be her forever. She will become, her outcome will be relevant on the future. But for now, if you're happy to role play her, just for you to do something as well, if you're okay with that, as you are here, it's just feel free
You're still
to.
playing right now, so
Yeah,
play.
that's
Come
what
on.
I mean. Yeah, just I see that you don't see. There is not a lot I can do about them bringing you back, unfortunately, at this point yet.
No, that's fine.
But please roll for
I'm
her
still
because
here. I'm
she's
just
involved. If it's okay with you, sir.
You have advantage. Roll again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because of the lamp, the candle. So
Mhm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So Yagu, Ziggy, and Remy, you three, the others are unsure. You actually have, you think 100% that she's telling the truth. It seems to be this bonding rune is just a fancy word for a badge, pretty much. So you just get a badge. It's something that if you were to say one day, I'm part of the Lost Alliance, instead of you saying, yeah, I have this badge to prove it, you will have this invisible rune that when you want yourself to either see it or reveal it, will appear on your wrist. Otherwise, no one will be able to see it unless you willingly. It's just like a possession, like a badge, put it like that, but it's a fancy magic being used for it. In terms of the name Warbounding, it sounds quite strict, but it's just like a formality, fancy word for magic, pretty much. Magical fancy word for a badge.
And it's undetectable unless we want it, even
Yes,
by
it's something
for
only
example,
you
Tiamat.
willingly show, then it will be detectable to you yourself.
Sure.
If you want to look for it, you will see it. If you don't even want to look for it, you won't even see it unless you yourself focusing on it. So it's like something like that. But it means basically that you jointly, verbally agreed to join them, because for them it's a big deal. They don't want people to say, yeah, we want to be part of the Royal Alliance, and then afterwards say, no, actually we're not, So this is a war bonding. It means it's like a little contract that doesn't mean that you're gonna be able to break it, because you do your life. It's not a big deal, but it just means you are part of them now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's the factions on you guys are used to without having to make any checks. You know that everyone is part of a faction at some point in Ferrum is a huge thing. There is a lot of factions, and the fact that you are not actually part of any at this point yet is what is quite unusual being adventurers. So, as I was mentioning, please think it over. What is so far? Is it interesting you what we are speaking here?
I mean, I'd rather not feel like. I'd rather not deal with more prison time.
Okay, that sounds like a good choice. Does he speak for everyone else once more? I'll say it. She asked for everyone, to everyone.
I agree.
Errol will just agree and say very well.
All right. Fantastic. Jeannie? Oh, Gus, you said your name was, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sure, madam. She looks towards you as well, Remy. I believe you are not part of the caravan of chaos yourself, miss. Are you?
No, I'm not associated with them per se. I just
Well, you are
worked
in
with
this
them on this
instant.
last mission.
Say it again, continue, please.
We were just working together for a mission. It was for a cause for the Church of Saloon. Surely if you reach out to the priestess here in Neverwinter, she can inform you on why we work together
Yes,
and why I'm not
actually,
affiliated.
she already has, actually. And let's just talk about the elephant in the room. What have you done with the book? And she looks towards you, Harold.
What book?
The book.
What book?
Make an insight check, all of you, if you want.
I mean, above game, Bruce did say, "Can we go with honesty being the best policy here?" So he's about to say something.
Well, Errol will just
Let's
interrupt
first
that.
see how things go.
Errol,
Yeah, it's the book though. We shouldn't be mentioning the book to anybody.
It's more.
I mean,
more
Errol did
going.
say in the Gripply conversation, hey, we should keep quiet about that, you know, so.
Yeah.
But let's just see what Cisco says about the insight
of course.
checks.
Only,
of course.
only you, Harold. She's bluffing. The rest of you think that she knows about the book, but only you, Harold, no, she's not sure. She knows you have a book, but she's not sure which book it is, and she wants you to say the book name because she's unsure which book. So you probably gather that they've been spying on you. Probably the saloon church might have mentioned something to do with a book, but she doesn't know which book it is, and she's trying for you to say it. Only you know that,
Harold
Harold. The DC
Harold
was
will remember I
25, but with your natural 20, let's say you did surpass that.
Errol will know that I have the book History of Dragonspear Castle in my bag.
Well, I mean, we came from Candlekeep. We deal with lots of books. Are you referring to our History of Candlekeep book, Chancellor?
I was
Because if
referring.
that's the case, it is fine.
She looks at you with this kind of like very intense look. She kind of like takes a banana in front of her, as you see in the picture, and she kind of like bites into it. And kind of like does
Following
it in
Errol-
an aggressive way.
Following Harold's suggestion, he pulls the book out.
Because that is the only book.
He also used to
And
have
it's
a
fine.
book for idiot sandwiches book, but we already gave it to Kennedy.
Well,
We did give that one away too.
okay. Fair enough. I will assume whichever book you're referring to is not gonna be harmful to anyone in here. I'm assuming it's not the guide to sandwiches, but what? We are...
I could throw this pretty hard.
Your business is your own, I guess. And you, once more, have been vouched by the Church of Saloon. And...
So it seems like our
Balanister.
conversation's over since we're going to be accepting this contract and doing this work for Neverwinter. So
Wonderful.
with that, I believe we're free to go.
Do you speak for everyone?
I think we'll agree.
Well, we would be weird if we would stay over here and he would only leave on its own. So yeah.
Yes, we will deactivate the arcane eye if you were to stay here, if that's what you want, obviously.
Well,
that would be for the best.
we'll figure it out. But thank you for your kind hospitality.
You feel all of those of you who said we agree, you feel it almost like a bit of warmth on your wrist,
Yeah.
and you see a tiny ethereal looking symbol of the Lord's Alliance appear on your wrist.
A bit
Very good.
crude, but it is what it is. Anyway, with all due respect, Chancellor, I believe we're done here.
Sure. I will need all of you to agree one by one, if that's okay. We need those war-bounding runes on you, as you want to be staying on the castle tonight.
I would prefer not to stay at the castle.
Same. Like we.
Agreed as well, but
All right, so then you can. Mind you, you all agree to the mission, right?
yes.
Certainly.
Yeah.
She looks one by
Ziggy?
one. Gus will say, "Okay," and then you won't see it, but his rune will appear. So I'll assume all of you, unless you tell me different, have agreed to it. So you all will feel the bounding runes appearing. Is everyone, as players, okay with that?
Yeah. Lucky.
Yep. Okay. So you all individually feel those runes appearing, and she said, "Okay." So not a problem. Feel free if you prefer not to stay on the castle. As I said, we are more than happy to pay you accommodations on the beach Leviathan. So you please make your way there if that's what you prefer. And tomorrow morning we will get a carriage to summon you back for more details. Nothing of great interest. If you don't really want to speak to the governor, you can let me know now, and we will just send a messenger with the details.
Just send a messenger. We work better when we can move.
Yes, because the governor is a very busy man, you see. Also, I believe Mr. Moonbear, that you have relatives staying in Neverwinter, don't you? Miss Bernhardt, or maybe Miss Lockwood, widow. The widower, how is it called? I forgot the name. There is a word that is
Widow for women. Widower for a bereaved husband, and widow for a bereaved wife.
Yeah. Okay.
Dowager is something else. I'm not sure what that is.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, Miss Lockwood stays here in the town as well, and actually, she has some kind of connection. Anyway, conversation for another time. I could notify her of your presence if you want, as well as we have connections to her brother.
Certainly.
Just see it as a free favor from us.
Of course, a favor.
All right.
And Harold will
Fantastic.
stand up and start to leave.
Yeah. As you stand up and try to leave, once more you notice, this time without making a perception check, this shadow creature kind of lurking and staring at you. Only you see this.
Can I insight to see if it is a hostile? Like, is it looking at me like a possible prey, or would I just know that? Like,
Sure.
it's just
You will know that.
okay.
You think to yourself, actually, make an Arcana check. That will be irrelevant.
Yeah.
You have advantage on this check.
Yep. Thank you. Ooh, that is not as good as I would have liked, but that's what I got.
With an 18 is actually enough. You think to yourself, for some reasons, the reason why you can see this creature is because your connections to the Wizards of Fey, and that makes you feel very uncomfortable, because why would this creature be here to start with, in first place? Actually, that's the question that comes to your mind. And it doesn't seem to be hostile, but is aware that you saw them now, you know, and is reacting in
knows
a
I
kind
can
of
see
like
him in
he's
other
looking at
words.
you. Yeah, he's staring at you, and she kind of looks
And
down.
Errol's just gonna leave. He doesn't want to be.
Yep.
He doesn't want to be in that room anymore.
You hear like a voice on your mind, Errol, that sounds similar sound and language that the one that the book speaks, actually. Dark speech coming from that creature towards you, but you don't understand what it's saying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Bruce will leave as well.
yeah, so as all of you leave, I leave you back the room. At this point, no one is escorting you out. The one of the she says, I will send one of my unseen servants to help you in case you need us to bring some luggage down, as you will not be staying with us. And please do refer to the innkeeper in the beach Leviathan when you arrive there, that you have a room reserved. Would you like individual rooms, or would you like one big size room?
I think we should all be together right now. Remy, I hate to say it, but I think you're gonna have to stick around with us for a bit longer until this is all played up.
All right. So, Captain, the captain will be aware of your booking. All right, and we won't have to see each other. Hopefully, never. All right. It's been
Agreed.
a pleasure to meet
He
you.
smiles.
And Godspeed. I will have to say the cult of the Whisper One can be quite challenging. That's why you have been chosen for this mission. Just want to make you aware for full disclosure. I wish you Godspeed.
Saloon, bless your steps.
She kind of doesn't reply to that. She kind of like does like a silent kind of sound, but politely nods to you.
Let's go.
So basically, as soon as
Let's
we
get out
all
of this.
leave and we're
And you
heading
feel-
towards the inn,
You feel an invisible presence, following you. You hear footsteps, like, so there is an unseen servant. You aren't sure whether this servant is actually can hear you, or you gather he probably would, because he was obeying her orders and communicating with her telepathically in some kind of way. So in terms of what to say, you aren't sure if you're 100% free to speak widely, just without passive insights.
Ribbit,
well,
can we get rid of this thing? Croak.
Ribbit, Croak, it'll be more suspicious if we did. Let's just get this over with, and I never want to see her again. Croak, Croak.
She was full of shit, Croak.
Ribbit, you don't realize the half of it.
Let's talk about it, croak, when we are away from here.
Agreed. Ribbit.
Ribbit agreed.
Right? So you are escorted by this invisible servant to your rooms if there is anything you left there. Otherwise, you could tell the invisible servant yourselves that there is no need for you to go back there, and then they will just escort you out into the main door.
Yeah.
There's no need for that. We're just gonna leave. We'll just be escorted outside. We didn't have luggage.
You hear like a gust of wind, kind of like coincidentally, you gather that's the voice of that creature. And after 10 minutes going down the stairs once more, because it took you like 10 minutes just to get to where you are, you exit. The air feels completely different. You exit the courtyard, and there you see that there is guards all around the castle. That you didn't really see them before that much. Maybe because there isn't as many during the day, or perhaps because you were coming with the flying saucer, but now it seems to be a much more lots of guards, around 20 guards all around the castle in different locations, completely still, and they kind of nod you as you pass them by. On your way out, they open the gate, and you exit into the town, and then you have the
Right? And then
Oh, good.
as soon as we get to our rooms at the inn, I'll just say, is it me, or does anybody else miss Waterdeep? The politicians there seem like they were less full of shit.
Yep. Either way.
Force Grey seems way better than this, going to the gesture by comparison.
Yeah, she seemed very fucking strange, and the mentioning of the book does not does not give me the greatest bit of concern as to who we've just spoken to. However,
Oh no,
if it means
she really knew a lot about me in a very bad context.
She was a wizard. Maybe she picked up on something.
No, well, the way she moved, I've been around of the kind of wizards which she may or may not be.
well,
She's definitely not like any of them. And
You
for
should-
the worst.
if you're implying what I think you're implying, you should really be on the ball about it, considering the history you have.
Again, the way she moves, it's not. I'm used to dealing with her kind, but she's different. It's actually pretty frustrating.
Well, if it becomes an issue, let's hope we never come back to Neverwinter after these next few days. However,
She actually, as they're able to look around, Ziggy, your tiny hut. Only whatever you allow to pass through can pass through it, right?
yeah,
All right, we'll have a better. Actually, can you use any of that right now, or do you want to save up your magic? I know it's a big deal.
I can cast it for free. It's fine. It'll just take
I'm just
10
saying,
minutes.
there
I
is
will
one
bring
thing I
you-
do want to tell all of you guys, but I don't feel comfortable right now as it is.
I'll make the dome then. Nothing can pass
Alright.
through it.
I'll
Are we
just wait
bringing
for you to
Ruin
do
back
it.
there? And
I think that would be a better idea.
So maybe if you
Places
guys
the-
are comfortable with, I will remove this beautiful picture, and you guys, I'll give you permission to move that icon, and you can tell me where you actually do the dome. Just give me one quick second, sorry. Yeah.
It should
it'll
be within the room, right? Because it's
yeah,
only
it'll
like
be
5 or
within
10
the
feet.
room.
Oh yeah, so you wanna go to the actual place? That will make sense. Okay, I thought you
Mhm.
were thinking of
To the inn.
Yeah, so you did say to when you go to the inn. Okay, perfect. All right. So as you arrive, just as you see the streets at this point is around 9 in the evening. There is starts to be a bit of shady characters. There is much less commerce as you traverse the different districts. You go through the bridge, go into the Protection Enclave district. As you kind of pass, is a much less affluent district. You keep going and going. Let me just have a look. Yeah, and you
It's
go
the
back.
docks, yeah, so-
You go to the Blue Lake district and towards the docks. That is not that far away. Did you actually stay here before? I believe you did, right?
stayed at
Not
the
this
beach
exact
Leviathan.
inn, to my
Yeah.
knowledge, yeah. Oh, we did.
Yeah, you did stay before in the Bleach Leviathan. Once more, as you get there, you see this infamous pirate vessel that is proud. But you know that is written everywhere, like it's very propaganda, kind of like a sprawl down the Sword Coast, striking terror. You see like this kind of like a plate there for those who cross his path. There is the captain, is actually the owner of the inn, who lives here too. And you enter the place. It feels like it's like an abandoned ship that is being reconstructed. It's still floating in the sea. And as you kind of make your way in, you see there is a counter and a woman there sitting down on that counter. She looks at you as you enter. Hello, can I help you?
Yes, we have a booking, the Caravan of Chaos.
Oh, you have the Caravan of Chaos, of course. You have actually out of game. You did say one room for all, right? Just want to make sure because I can. Yeah,
Yes,
I believe that's what you did. Oh, okay. You have the suite, actually, our best room of all. The reservation has been made just recently, so if one of you could sign here. Actually, I have a message for you as well. Miss Remy Dasweather, I believe that will be you, as you are the only lady here. She says, kind of like with a weird voice.
Yes.
And she gives you a scroll. The scroll, this got the stamp of the Lord Alliance on it.
Just open it up.
Do you want to open it there on the desk?
Yeah.
As you open it, the scroll it seems to be blank, but in your mind, you hear words, and it says, "Due to your affiliation, your you are exempt to take part in this mission. We will require you to do a mission elsewhere. We will be informing you on when and how and when it will be the same. 3 days, same payment, but you don't longer need to be staying in Neverwinter for now unless you wish to." And it's been signed and authorized by sorry, one second. By Lady Jasmine as well. It's got the stamp of your church on it, and there has been some kind of politics going into place here, and it seems like you are free to go and do what you wish when you wish. I assume you will be keeping that for yourself right now, but that's what's happened to you. So you've been kind of like freed of this mission, but once more, there will be another mission that they will be requiring you for, and they will be contact you at some point in a further date.
She'll relay the information to the others, and it's been a pleasure working with all of you, but please make sure to stay safe, okay?
Yeah, and Remy, it's been good to work with you as well, and I'm sorry for how things worked out.
I'm sorry as well. I wonder if he'll ever. I don't know.
We'll think about
She's
it.
just really worked up.
We will think about it, okay?
Ebony was a
Andrella,
noble-
who is behind the
noble soul.
desk, she says, "Oh, congratulations." She doesn't understand what you're talking about, but she kind of like politely.
Anyway,
Oh,
right.
read the room, hen.
Right, everybody, let's head on up to the room and get situated. Thank you very much to the person behind the bar. Let's
Yes,
go.
a pleasure.
And then-
Andrella, anything you need, please give us a shout. We also have Feng, and she kind of like points out to this half-orc male, very tall as well, that he seems to be dressed up more like as a tavern bouncer / barman, and an odd human male that he seems to be dressed as a cook. It feels like the staff have come out to greet you. That will only happen because you have the best room, so you are like VIP customers of the place at the moment. You also
Gotcha,
see
yep.
the Captain Haran. He seems to be a burly, bald-headed man with only one leg, and he kind of like comes kind of walking and comes to say hello to you as well and greet you for a second. Hello, you all. Welcome to my establishment.
This is not. Sirs, madam, this is not necessary. We just have to go to our room now, if you don't mind.
All right. All right. Welcome either way. Anything you need, please.
And Errol will just walk over there, and then as soon as we get inside the room, okay, that was interesting.
Yeah, I'll get the dome.
Yeah, please
you.
do. Thank you.
Remy, actually,
What's
I kind
that?
of interjected as the receptionist there. What will have been be doing? Did you leave actually, or did you stay for now?
Well, I imagine she said her goodbyes and just
Yep.
parted ways.
Did
Okay.
she take the book?
Yeah, that's a good point. You wouldn't leave without the book for
If-
now.
Yeah, if they give the book, she'll take the book.
So maybe would you
Well,
be
it's not
going
in
to
the
that
public
room
place.
because you wouldn't want to be taking the book out in the reception. There is a lot of customers, and you are imagine you are like in an open room, you know. So maybe if that's okay
Yeah,
with
sure.
you, Lucky, maybe you will have gone to the room.
Yeah.
Would you, Errol, have mentioned anything to her so she just doesn't grab the book with her bare hands?
Well, Remy, before you do that, I had some issues with it. Don't directly touch it. Just, get like a pair of sticks maybe, or a mage hand to do that, because that's a lot less of an issue. It
But it's
tries
really
to.
hard to hear it with sticks.
No,
I'll try.
Like, if you get like 2 sticks and you make it like a pair of like that,
Like chopsticks?
I passed her 2 javelins.
just. Do you know how to mage hand, Remy? If not, Ziggy, can you hand it
Yeah.
put it in
sorry,
a backpack.
Sorry,
and
Joey. That sounds much dirtier than I think you think it does.
Good.
Do you know how to mage hand?
Do you know how to
Sorry.
mage hand?
Ziggy, get your mind out of the gutter. Now's not the time
Yeah.
for that.
Mage-hand? Yeah.
Anyway, I'll just say to Remy, just it tries to get inside your head, and don't directly touch it.
Yes, you're vulnerable right now, and
She'll
I
grab
don't
out
want
like
to
a
die.
handkerchief and grab the book and put it in a bag.
Well, safe trips to you, Remy.
As you grab the book, you see this kind of a demonic face, horned skeletal creature on the back of the book. You also realize, as before, the book cover seems to be made of some kind of organic flesh skin, potentially of something or someone. And you hear
Actually-
also the voice, a weird kind of like whisper in your head, Remy.
Actually, Remy, if you're gonna head to the Church of Saloon, Bruce, do you want to go with her to make sure she is okay, and also talk to the Lady Jasmine at the same time, maybe, depending?
I could do that right now if Remy is willing, while you bring Ruin back.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good. Take a bit of time and energy.
Righto. Miss Dustweather?
Yeah. The orcs first.
Oh, thank you. You'll step outside and
Hmm.
you'll hold the door.
Anyway, and standing next to Ziggy, Harold is gonna use a first level spell slot to summon Goodberry, and he's just gonna offer it to everybody before they leave. Barry?
Yep.
Fuck off, Harold.
Barry? Just all of us. Even a Remy. Barry.
Every fucking time.
Amazing.
Even if Bruce just goes, shut up, Harold. And leaves.
Yeah, I imagine he says that as Harold goes Barry, and then Bruce is like, "Shut up, Harold." Okay.
I love that. That's amazing. Nice.
He goes up to Ziggy. Barry,
Yeah, we're gonna need it.
there you go.
Right, let's bring Ruin back. Come on.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. The room is like amazing. Whatever you will imagine to be a super suite, even though it's a kind of like an inn that is not that luxurious. But you see they have the best beddings, best of everything in this kind of quiet large room, considering the size of the ship. And you have this view. You see, like on the picture itself, there is like 3 windows. The top window is the captain one that you see on the very top deck, and the 2 other windows is actually your room. So you are below the captain's room. That will be the owner's house probably, and you are right there. So you have an outer view of the deck itself. And yeah, I'll leave you the room as you, Remy, and Bruce, you kind of start making your way towards the temple as well. Let's go to you bringing Ruin back first, if that's okay with you. So we have Lucky playing 2 characters. That is gonna be very interesting for a bit.
So in
No,
in the
Remy's
dome,
all yours.
No, she's still yours now. I'm sorry, you're staying with her.
No, please, no.
In the dome, I think me and obviously, I'm
Harold.
guessing I'll have grabbed the bottle of dust from a
Yeah,
Bruce,
yeah,
and I'll
he's
just
giving you the jar of
Yeah.
dirt.
I'll kind of empty the jar while in the dome and just kind of place it in a sort of body-like shape, and say, if this summons a dragon, you better be ready to fucking run.
Okay.
Just saying that now.
All
If
right.
it does.
I'm
And-
about 100% sure it's not going to happen, but go on.
Well, let's hope I can banish a dragon through the dome.
We got Yagu here. It's fine.
I cannot banish.
No, but you could punch and
Yeah,
stuff.
but he's gonna be a very active dragon.
I got a bow. It's fine.
Okay. Things may get a bit weird. I've never spent this long bringing somebody back. I pull out the scroll.
Oh, that sounds ominous.
Yeah, that sounds fucking ominous. Where was
Let's
this?
go.
Where was this music room with speaking to politicians?
I guess it
Would have
wasn't.
hit it better, yeah.
I
Yeah,
actually like the silence, though, but go on.
yeah. But either way, so Ziggy basically pulled out the scroll, and for what looks like to him only a sec, like you see his eyes start to glow while he's pulling out the scroll. Mainly, I'm stalling for time right now because I mentioned something in the break. I just can't remember what the fuck I mentioned.
You said you're gonna
so-
pour his dust toward.
Yeah,
over
so
it.
I pour him his dust in sort of a body shape, and Ziggy, in an instant, time just kind of stops for Ziggy as he casts the spell. Sort of a divine light kind of comes over him, which everybody else sees, and for this hour, Ziggy is just kind of stuck in place, not moving at all. Ziggy just, all he does is he has the spell, says the name, the scroll disappears. That all happens in a flash for Ziggy, as he sort of passes out within just casting it, as it's such a powerful spell. I assume it would have some effect on him. That's what happens to Ziggy, but for everyone else, basically, a lot of like golden light starts to shine around Ziggy as well as the dust pile, and really it's just a very long, drawn out saying of Ruin's name that lasts the hour, and everyone just kind of like Errol and Yagu just kind of see this happening, something coming over Ziggy rather than him actually saying something.
Will anyone else be doing anything during that hour?
I'll just be praying to Sylvanas that he comes back. That it works.
Okay, you can make a religion check. Yagu and Mithalgu, will you two be doing anything?
The 19.
I don't. Yeah, it's not a new day yet, right? It's still the same
Yeah,
day.
it's still the
since-
same day, yeah. So he will be there with you.
Yeah, no,
still.
then basically he's useless, so I'm telling him to go back into my amulet, so he's not wasting any space.
Okay. Yeah, you does as you say that, you kind of like if you want him to go back into your amulet, he will, and it turns
Yep.
into dust, kind of like crystallize. You see joy in his face, like he's been released somehow of your service, and then he becomes smaller, smaller, smaller until he actually goes into the rock amulet thing, and then the crystal itself glows for a second until it becomes normal. What did you get in that religion check, Harold?
I got a 19.
19. With a 19, for the first time, well, not for the first time, but differently from the last time before, you feel like a connection. It's very much like you praying to our God in our world. It doesn't necessarily, you don't feel like he is, you feel that there is a presence there, and you feel confident on it, 100% sure, like your prayer has been listening, but there is not really a reply back. But you 100% are aware that
It's way different than when I was back in that other place.
there is not
Okay.
like a nothingness like before. Meantime,
Okay.
in the Shadowfell ruin, you are in a forest full of bramble, entrapped between thorny black vines. A trees kind of like full of spikes. The sky is completely pitch black, and you are not alone. You are with this creature hunched with a hair kind of covering his whole face. He's completely gray and deformed, hunched, huge, with two long fingers and extremities, and he doesn't seem to be doing nothing. He's just, imagine like a golem, if Golem had like a big bunch of hair covering his face, and he's like 3 times the size and very long, sharp nails, and he's just sitting with you. He's kind of like creepily breaking branches and kind of making them into kind of like weird twigs, and kind of like poking them on the floor, and kind of like poking the branches and the vegetation itself that seems to be reacting to his presence in a painful way, and he seems to be enjoying that. He keeps just doing it, and you see all this bramble is kind of bleeding like a black ichor, and he just keeps stabbing it and stabbing it. If you try to get away from it, it feels like you are actually bounded to him somehow.
Like you cannot get out from his sight. Whatever, if you move, you see, look back, and you see the creature there next to you again, almost like he's there with you all the time. What do you do as you are sitting there with him?
Is there any point in keeping me trapped here?
He says to you, make an insight check.
14.
You think to yourself, you heard him talk before. He spoke an unusual, like his main language is not common that he was making common. He said, "Follow my voice," and different things like weird single phrases, single word phrases. But this time, the way he's reacting, you think that he doesn't seem to be happy that you are necessarily with him neither. But he seems to be stuck with you. That's what you kind of gather from that.
Okay. Well, if we're going to be stuck here for a long time with each other, might as well get to know each other. I'm Ruin or Ignis, kind of flipping between the two names. Do you know the Bagman? Is that what you said?
It nods, the whole hair kind of like weird, fluffy, disgusting, dirty, kind of sweaty hair kind of moves and almost doesn't move. It's just like so dirty that it's stuck together.
Okay, next question. Or if you wanted to turn, you could ask me a question. But why did you take me out of wherever I was if you didn't want me here?
You think you understood, you asked me to.
I didn't even know who you were before I was stuck wherever I was. I asked someone to come help me.
He kind of grabs the sticks that he's using, and you feel like his face, the hair underneath it, the void inside is almost like moving inwards for a second, like there is like a flow of wind pulling that, like there is a hole in his face literally, but it's covered with the hair. And he looks towards your wings. He asks you if your
No,
wings
the
come
wings
out.
don't come out. No. They are very much a part of me. Much like how you're here as a part of you.
You see him with a bunch of sticks, and you think that he's gonna actually impale your wings with a stick in a second. You can see it. He's a very basic creature, yeah.
I'll hold a Eldritch Blast in my hand. We could play this game, but I'd really rather not.
I'm not sure how your Eldritch Black looked like, but in this world, everything is black and gray almost. So you see almost like the magic is like negated of color. Even though it's got the power on it, it feels like the whole place is reacting to it in a ominous way.
So I imagine it's like a gray and black aura that just looks darker than normal. But it's just radiating off his hand. So, Bagman, let's not get all worked up. Let's keep talking here. Next question. How do I get out of here? I've got some folks that want me to.
You think he's
Why are you laughing like that? Come on. I'm not that funny. I didn't even tell a joke yet. We're bounded and we won't escape. Bounded to what?
You look at yourself, Ruin, and you start to feel like you have color, like almost like in a slow motion.
you see color start appearing in your skin that it was black and white before. Everything was black and white. There was all this weird smoke, and you feel like there is a life kind of starting to come out of you. It kind of moves back, almost like scared by this life force, and dust sprinkles over you. You feel like almost like a silvery bits, kind of like that's how your skin started to get the color back, like from those tiny motes of dust.
Before I disappear, could I reach out and grab the sticks?
Okay, yeah. As you kind of like go and reach to grab the sticks, he allows you. And then as you kind of keep getting more and more color, you start to become translucent, and you know yourself. This is the way. You are going somewhere. Just based on how you're feeling, life is returning to you, and you think probably your friends have brought you back. And as you grab and take the sticks, in the last second, you feel it. His hair kind of moves back, almost like unnaturally, like something has beckoned him towards you, and he kind of like goes through you. You aren't sure whether he actually passes through. Make a perception check as you try to look back just in the time you're disappearing to see if he has passed through you or he has gone inside you.
I'll burn one of the group inspirations.
Yeah,
Good
go
call.
for it. Yep.
Son of a bitch. 16, I guess.
16?
Is all right.
You aren't sure. You feel that he is not. Yeah, you as you look back, you kind of see like a black void and smoke and the kind of like starless black. You don't even know if it's a sky. It's just like you gather to yourself based on your knowledge. You were in the in-between place. Perhaps the shadow fell. It seems like there was vegetation of some sort, so it must be a black shadow realm, 100%. But you are not sure whether the creature is. But you do have this bunch of sticks on your hand.
Okay.
And we go back to the room. Actually, sorry. Anything else you want to do while you are transported and flying through the ether? Literally.
As he's getting transported out, he'll shout out to the bagman. Thank you for saving me and talking to me. If I can, I'll try to come back for you, I guess. You don't seem that bad.
Amazing. You hear no reply. And we go back to that room. Ziggy, how does Ruin comes back?
Yeah, so just a bit more of that. As the spell's starting to end, Ziggy will just kind of drop to the floor as the scroll sort of just burns up. And with one final just uttering prayer, he says Ruin's name, and just as Ziggy drops, the dust starts to lift up, and every little particle seems to grow slightly in size and just change in colour to make and form some form of flesh. I assume clothed as well.
Amazing. And as you happen, Ruin, you find yourself in this room. You open your eyes, you see your companions there. You also feel like a piercing wound in your hand, like something is really going through you. To all of you, you see like black roots kind of like have grown into Ruan's hand, like almost like the end of his hand is made of bunches of sticks that have kind of like gone through his fingernails, and you see that his hand is like full of thorns, like almost like he put his hand into bunches and thorns, and it's super painful. That's the first thing you feel as you arrive there.
Okay, whoa, Ziggy,
Yeah, that shouldn't be happening. He should be removed of all curses.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
that's weird. Okay,
Pull him out, pull him out, pull him out.
Like, just Errol just trying to.
Yeah. As you do, kind of like touch it, make a Constitution saving throw.
Sure. Con save. Let's see. Oh, thank God I had advantage. 17.
Yeah, that is enough. You feel like this
kind of like mind pain for a second. You feel like this pain is entering your mind. You do take 3 points of psychic damage.
That's fine.
And you end up
Yeah,
with these
'cause yeah, that's
bunches,
fine, it already
and
worked.
you manage to take out this full of bunches from his hands. As you take them out, they become like this fizzy black smoke. And you see it like happening in the room, like where the smoke touches, it becomes colorless for a second. Even your hand becomes colorlessly for a few seconds. And then Ruin, your hand goes back to normal, and yours too as well, Errol.
Ow, that actually hurt. Okay. Also, first things first, there's a couple things that we need to tell you and say to you. But before that, Barry.
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 You back with us?
Yeah. What happened?
Okay.
Oh,
first
thanks,
off,
Sylvanas. Okay.
first off, I'll be as quickly as I can. First off, once again, I control when you live or die. Point that out there. Second, it's been a few days. We had to go through a hell of a lot to bring you back because you turned to dust. Are you gonna?
Well,
Do you remember why you turned to dust?
Point at Harold. Did he finally
What?
get tired of me?
We're all fucking tired of you right now. However,
Why do-
we've brought you back.
Point at the bottle he was kept in.
I died trying to get you back. Don't joke
We're
at a
in-
time like this.
We're in Never. He did. No, he didn't. You didn't. He
Wait.
did die.
I actually died. This isn't
Yeah,
a joke.
You turned to dust.
You did die, and at one
I
point
think-
so did I.
Yes. You were currently living in this for a good few days. I'll hand him the bottle. Keep it as a memento.
Cisco, just a quick question. Would I at least remember what I was doing before I died?
You were on watch. You remember coming out of the hut, but that was it. From then onwards, you are unsure.
Maybe he had modify memory used on you.
He should be
Yeah,
cured of that because of true resurrection.
Well,
Oh.
anyway, look.
Yeah.
We're all just, for better or for worse, we're glad that you're back. It was very difficult to do, but honestly, I had so much that I was going to say to you. I thought I would be a lot angrier to see you because you're just gone, but honestly, considering everything else, I am happy you're back. And please just don't go and watch on your own, firstly. And secondly, realize that you're important to this group, so stop doing dumb shit that'll risk your life.
Yeah, stop dying.
Yeah.
How many times have I died now? This is what.
Twice.
I think 2 or 3. Twice, I think, yeah. Because the first time was with... Yeah, so twice. It was twice.
I don't want to die anymore either, Harold. It's
Yes.
not
And
that
we don't want
fun.
you to either, so... Just
But you
be our friend and work with us.
do you all actually mean that?
In the nicest way possible, I control when you live or die. I will choose when you die. In the nicest way
that-
possible.
Is that you trying to say that you care about me, Ziggy?
No.
Make an
The
instant
point
check.
is, Ruin...
I'm joking.
The point is,
baby.
Ruin, we need
Fuck.
you, so please stop doing dumb shit. Errol will literally say
Also-
that to Ruin.
Also, are you feeling okay? That's the main thing.
Yeah, do you need
Other
another
than-
berry?
Other than those thorns that he just ripped out of my hand, there's actually one more important question. Who has my stuff?
And I'll
Yeah,
chuck him in the
Ziggy
back.
will.
I'll
Yep.
go through all of it too and just.
It's all there. Well,
Roll
actually,
a d10,
there is.
Lucky,
I like
And a-
that Rue would
and a
assume that
fate
we'd
roll.
we'd have.
and make a fade
I
roll.
like Ruin.
too.
I love that Ruin assumes that we'd want something that's child-sized.
And then fate roll. High? Please don't take away my stuff. High.
Okay,
Success.
so high end of.
Okay, as you go through the stuff, how do you go through the stuff actually? And what is the?
Oh, like just super paranoid. So it's like looking into the bag, moving my hand around, looking back up at Ziggy, putting my hand back through.
Do you touch? Is the stuff there actually? His quarter stuff.
The staff is there.
Do you touch it with your hand?
Nope. Not with
Okay.
my hand, no.
All right.
Maybe a mage hand.
Yeah, okay. So you kind of mage hand into the back and you start moving things around. It feels you don't see for a second Ruan's head disappear into the back of Holding. It's becomes super awkward. You're thinking like, is he gonna come out of it? He's like almost his head is inside there, and then you see some arcane magic and a mage hand kind of entering and moving things around. And yeah, everything is there, Ruan.
Oh,
We-
perfect.
Make
thank
a
you.
We
perception
literally
check,
just brought you
Ruan.
back from the dead. Oh, sorry. What makes you think we would rob you?
I don't think that you guys would rob me. I just
You find
think that you.
your mage hand pulls out a stringy, long white hair, like greasy looking, and as you think of it,
that I don't-
you think is the hair of the bagman.
That
Oof.
that I don't remember.
Okay,
Ziggy, did you?
Where would I get old man hair from?
I don't
You
know.
put old man hair in my bag?
Yeah,
No, I did
Ziggy,
not
what
put-
the heck?
Where the hell would I get that from?
That
I
is
mean,
so
uh,
uncool.
Either way, Ruin, you're back alive, that's all that matters. Don't touch that staff anymore, we think it may have caused you to die and become an undead dragon.
Yeah, it may hit because you did try to kill us as an undead version of yourself.
So, I didn't know the staff was a little teeny bit cursed. I might have told Yagu.
Yeah, okay,
Yagu,
you,
did he
may,
tell you?
Might.
you should be cured of that curse because of the spell.
I
Well,
tried
I don't
telling you
think-
Yagu it was killing me.
Yeah, Ruin, I don't think you should use it anymore. Use that serpent sword. You know? It's a decent weapon, I suppose.
Do you think we could sell that stuff if it's so dangerous?
I
Uh,
wouldn't trust people with it. I think we
That's
should
fair.
destroy it.
I mean, well, we'll figure out what to do with it. Anyway,
Well, yeah.
Ruin, firstly,
Use the
go on,
serpent
Ziggy.
staff. Use the serpent sword.
Yeah, I'll use the serpent sword. As for the staff, don't worry, I'm getting rid of it. I'm gonna give it to Bycroft back at Candlekeep.
I don't know if we should give that to him.
We don't want
Anyway.
to kill another blacksmith.
Anyway,
Speaking of
Just
one
a
more
quick
thing, where are we
question.
currently?
Just a quick question
catch
out
you
of
up.
game. Just sorry for cutting you off, guys. Are you okay to push for 10 more minutes, or is everyone cool with that?
yeah, we'll push for 10 more minutes. So basically,
So
Harold
once
will
you
just say,
finish
"Alright,
this
firstly, there's a
conversation, we'll
lot-"
move to,
Yeah.
to Bruce, but let's finish what you guys are saying.
Okay. Harold is just going to be really brief and saying, all right, Ruin, we're in Neverwinter. While we were doing a job, we unfortunately made a bit of a snafu with working with clerics of Saloon and Bahamut. And, well, we're basically working for the governor of Neverwinter to uncover a cult of the, what was it, Cisco, out of game? Cult of the what again?
The whispered one.
Whispered
yeah.
One. Cult of the Cult of the Whispered One, and we will get paid 500 gold each if we succeed. And oh, by the way, I think that the counselor who gave us this job might be a Wizard of Thay because she has one of those shadow beasts that murdered my family, or at least it looks like it did. So
What did I
What?
miss out on?
yeah.
Also, to get out of, we had to steal a scroll of true resurrection to bring you back, and
Yeah,
we
had
had
to kill
use your
and it freed
teleportation tablet to get out.
yeah, we did. We would have literally died if we didn't.
My teleportation tablet?
Yeah, it's why we're here.
Wait, are we in Candlekeep? Are we in Neverwinter, I mean?
we
Neverwinter, yes.
We did say that.
I have to go shopping.
Okay, well, you know, let me just update you. And Ruin is, just, or not Ruin, Harold is giving him the TLDR version of what just happened with everything else, and now Ruin should be up to date. Okay, also, if you see Bruce and Remy on the way, try not to freak them out. Also, tell Bruce thank you, because he really did do a good job with us.
Bruce knows I'm thankful, but I'll tell him. Maybe. We'll find out. Shopping? Yeah.
Okay, I also need to do some shopping.
I need to go do some praying, so I'm gonna go find a shrine or a grove dedicated to Sylvanas here in the city, if there is one. Neverwinter's a big city, I'm sure there is. So that's what Harold will be doing in the meantime.
Right, just to mention as well, at this point it's around 10 o'clock in the evening. So in terms of late night shopping, it might... You are kind of pushing it. in terms of the time of the night.
There's just one shop I'm trying to make a bolt for.
You will know that by the time you get there, you'll have to leave it for the morning. Whatever shop you go to, it will be closed at this time now.
Harold will literally tell
Unless you
we
can
could do it tomorrow.
teleport there.
It is an evening. It is an evening job. We could just do it tomorrow. Ruin, please.
I can use Far Step, and I'm gonna grab Harold with me.
Ah, damn it!
I actually need to go shopping.
What does fast
grab Ziggy.
does actually?
You can teleport up to 60 feet to an occupied space, but I can do it as a bonus action, and it's concentration for up to a minute. So I'm gonna teleport 60 feet as a bonus action every 6 seconds.
Yeah,
Okay.
every 6 seconds.
As you
basically is what
grab
he's trying to do.
Harold, you feel.
I'll take Ziggy because he wants to go shopping.
Whoever,
Sorry.
yeah. As you grab Ziggy, you feel like you see Druin just teleporting away, but you are not teleporting away yourself. You are unsure why. It feels like make an Arcana check if you want.
28.
You think to yourself that for some reason seems that teleportation magic doesn't seem to work in that instant. You aren't sure why. It doesn't make any sense, you know? Make
Maybe because of this.
Make a d20 and add your charisma to it.
Oh, so just a charisma check.
Roll. Yeah, do a charisma check. Yeah, easier.
14.
Yep. You try to kind of push and infuse your magic into it, but it doesn't seem to be working. However, you can run and dash behind him.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to use my Shard Solitaire because I can teleport 30 feet with that. Does that work?
As you try to do, make another charisma check.
25.
Yeah, it works.
Okay.
Right, so she's nixed our teleportations. She's nixed our teleportations.
Figures. But anyway, so that's what Harold's doing, and just to cut it short, to get to Bruce's
Okay,
thing.
so as you guys make your way,
Yeah, Ziggy's gonna buy the stuff we talked about.
Okay, all right. So we'll do.
You just watch them all dip out on him. He's still in the room going, well, that was lovely.
Yeah. So we will not be role playing the shopping unless you guys really want to. Me and Luke did it already offline, so me and Lucky. But the difference is that you can apply a 10% discount to it, as you now guys are part of the lore. Actually, not you, Ruin, unfortunately. You don't get the 10% discount unless you go with Ziggy, and Ziggy buys the things for you. Let's put it like that. So he will have to be witness of everything you're doing.
I'm like his mum when he's trying to buy an 18 plus video game as a 12-year-old.
So I'll let you decide that offline. Sure? Okay. So Ziggy, you are aware that he's trying to sell the stuff of the Lockwood that you got in the Lockwood Manor to this guy in the shop.
No, not the Lockwood Manor.
Yeah,
I got it from I got it from the Elfsman.
From the tribe,
clan.
yeah, the Elfsman, sorry, yeah, not the Elfman's tribe, yeah.
Only thing you took from Lockwood was
I am exchanging the staff for the cost of the rest of the dagger. Plus an additional 1,000 gold he's going to give back to me, which could I get more now because I'm bringing Ziggy with me?
You'll get a 10% off of the total. So what if you want whatever?
So 10% off of 28,000.
So no, of whatever is left. You pay 7,000. So whatever was left for you to pay, as is like an old agreement, you get a 10% off whatever was left to pay.
So I don't get 10% off a full purchase.
Not
only
of the
only
full.
of what's
Yeah, because
left.
that was something you already paid. So he won't change it because you were not part of. It's like he's doing you a favor to do that because this is nothing to do with Siggy. So we'll discuss it offline later. No worries. Let's just cut off to Bruce on the temple if you guys are okay with that.
Then we'll discuss. You guys sort out with the shopping and how you react, Ziggy, and all whatever you decide to do. Then, if you guys are okay with that. So Bruce, as you following Remy, traversing until the districts, until you arrive to the Tower District, where you see in the distance once more this ominous tower that you've been to on the past. It looks like a crystal shard into the night, pretty much. Like it's quite ominous and unremarkable. This seems to be, as you approach it with Remy, there is no entrance to it, but just like before, when you get close to it, you see this kind of like bridge appearing out of nowhere, and the kind of like the path opens for you, almost like a path that it wasn't there before, as you see that bridge appearing now, the one that you see in the image on the screen.
Remy, who am I speaking to, you or Lucky?
Remy is lucky. For now. I'm sorry.
It's lucky
You are
playing
still
Remy.
lucky in that. You're still lucky, you're still Remy in OBS. I'm sorry. So until I change it next session, if you're okay with it, lucky, please play 2 characters, because you guys are loving the RP, so I'm loving that you guys are RPing so much, so I think it's fun.
Yeah, Lucky, get you more involved because you missed the big
Because
chunk
I'm
of the
gonna have
session.
another NPC there, so I don't want an NPC monologue with myself, if that's okay.
Remy,
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how well you knew Stripe. Was that his real name? Stripe?
Yes.
I just wanted to say he was a noble man and a hero. He gave his life for people he hardly knew who were his allies. He was nothing like his brother.
No, he actually kind of was like his brother in a sense. He wanted to be like him, except after what he read in the reports of what happened at Marin, he thought that you guys had influenced him in such a way that caused him to turn to the Mother of Dragons.
He did suggest as much when we were at Brimstone Hold. I may have choked him for his words.
You know, if it means anything, he didn't hold any ill will against all of you. He was more or less just testing you guys today.
He seems pretty convincing when he said we're the ones who influenced his brother. But genuinely, he wasn't like him. In the end, Grey threw people that were his friends and allies and countless innocents under carriage wheels for himself, for power. And I was a fool that didn't even see it coming. And you know he's taken the girl I was meant to protect, to guide, to raise. And now he has my brother in a prison somewhere.
Yes, but do you think he's worth forgiving? After everything that you've heard, I know that you believe in Saloon, but forgetting about what we were supposed to preach, do you think you'll forgive Gray for what he's done? After what Stripe's requested from you, after what I'm asking you, I care about Stripe. And if that is what his last request is, then I would ask you to do the same.
I don't know. I've had a taste for revenge recently, and it's Well, it only meant that I couldn't even be at my father's deathbed. And I couldn't even do anything to help him. Because of it. That's a different story. As
How
for
did your father die, if you don't mind my asking?
an illness, something even clerics couldn't heal. We thought that my friend Jagu, his lake had tremendous restorative qualities. We thought if we cleansed it in time, maybe we could bring my father there and it would help him, but we went
Well,
after a cult meeting of her, and we ended up in
if he
prison for
didn't,
over 2 weeks afterwards, and in that meantime, my father died.
if he didn't die of old age, you could always use that scroll. It's an option.
I thought about it, but one thing my mother and even my father actually agreed with her, which surprised me really. They both believe that when it was your time, it should be respected. And as much as it pains me, I never saw eye to eye with my father for most of my life, but we managed to patch things up before the end, and I would like to respect that one wish of his that he had. I'm still not sure it's the right thing to do, but as for Grey, though, if I can get Nadalia back whole, and if I can get my brother back whole, then I think I could find it within myself to forgive him. But I would point out that doesn't mean that I wouldn't do the right thing. I wouldn't do what was just. If Grey is intent on killing countless people, he was part of my caravan. And what I learned from my brother is that a caravan takes care of its own.
Then are you going to take care of him,
If I'm forced
or
to,
are you going to kill him?
if I can't get Nadalia and my brother Aki back, then I will try. And I can't pretend it will be because it's the right thing to do, or because it's just or moral, or anything like that. I would not pretend that. I would do it because I want him dead. But if I get him back, I will try to forgive him.
I
I can only
imagine.
attempt to be a good person. I cannot pretend to be better than that. You can see on Bruce's face, he clearly looks very pained and anguished just thinking about this, because this is a lot's happened in the last year. It's still very raw.
Then
I
whatever
imagine, sorry, just
you
quickly.
decide.
I imagine you stopped on the door, yeah? You are not having this conversation while you are inside, that you just on the bridge, right? If that's okay with you.
Walking to the temple and then
Yeah,
then
because you
walking
are
wait
in
a
the
little bit.
in the bridge now, so you stopped in there. If that's okay with you,
Sure.
so you will be here. Talking there. Oh, keep going.
Whatever you decide. I just hope that it'll bring you peace. But it's selfish of me to ask, but please think of Stripe when you're at that moment, when you're about to make that decision.
I can only promise to try. But he's done me a great deal of wrong. And if he can't do something to make up for that wrong, then it's maybe human-centric to say, but since I'm only half human, but I'm only human, of a sort. I'm only humanoid.
Yeah. Uh, I can't judge you. I'm only asking you to save him after what happened to Stripe. You know, I only knew him for a short while, but I did care about him at the end.
I could
You know, I
tell.
only knew him for a short while, but I did care
Even
about him.
just so we're clear, even if
You know, I only knew him for a short while.
could do what you're asking,
Even just so we're clear,
the man has to be stopped. People, the mountain of corpses he's left behind him. The mountain of corpses he's left behind him.
Try appealing to his senses then.
I don't
Ask
even
him
know
why
what-
he's doing.
I don't
what
even know
he's
what
done.
those are anymore. I trusted him
Ask him why he's
implicitly right up to the point he.
done.
I trusted him
Ask him why
right up to the point he turned on us. The very moment I trusted him, right up to that point.
Let me ask you one more thing.
Very
Then.
moment I trusted him, right up to
You fought just as hard. You were fighting to kill him or save him just as hard as you fought today to save Ruin. The little fairy dragon.
We're not gonna have
To
to
save
save water.
Don't you know how many people he killed?
He's told us.
Really think about it.
No, I know. I understand the hypocrisy. He's told us.
Really think about it.
I can't
He didn't
pretend.
just-
I know. I understand the hypocrisy.
He didn't just kill one village. He killed
I can't
multiple. He killed families. He took lives.
Okay, alright, let's buy some.
He killed families. It's immeasurable. And
Alright.
do you really think he's shown any remorse since then? Sure, he's told you he's working on being better, but has he gone back to the town? Sure, he's told you he's to those graves,
We get access to
families.
wizard.
Gone back to the town? It's one thing to say, oh, he's trying, but
Schools go, and then
has he
I'll-
actually gone? It's one thing to say to those houses, to those families.
the wizard-
Has he actually?
the wizard
Yeah, of course not. You've done your research
weapon
on us.
proficiencies are awful.
Of course. That's why I also
And
know
commoners-
Ziggy is the sensitive
The
one.
commoner stat block uses a club
Yeah.
and is proficient.
He
in
is
club,
actually.
meaning that certainly everybody.
Yeah, once
the
you
whole point
get
of
past
simple
it, I
weapons
feel
is
like.
everybody's supposed to basically.
Well, anyways,
use
anyway,
them.
I
It
just.
makes,
All I'm saying is,
but then,
if you're willing to forgive that one,
We're gonna have to use deck.
maybe
we
just
can
maybe
shrink
think about it
weapons.
at the moment you need to make the decision, and maybe the decision won't even be in your hands. It could be in anyone's. It could be up to Errol, Ziggy, or
Buy
even
some
Yagu. One of them could kill him or save him. All I'm
He's-
asking is that when you go back to the group, talk to them about it.
With a quarter
He's
staff.
wronged us. He's wronged us all, but I don't think it's a stretch to say that it's a bit more, significantly more personal for me.
So let's spend some money. So we're gonna get a.
Because he took Nedelia.
And Aki. And he lied to me for God knows how long.
There we go. Freaked out there for a
Do
second.
you know I saved his life? Twice.
There we go.
Do you know I saved his life?
Everything.
Pulled him out of
Alright.
literal lava in a situation that he got us into.
A quarter staff.
Pulled him out of literal lava in a situation that he got us into.
Two silver.
Can't
Pulled him out of literal lava in a situation.
sell that in the report.
That was a bit earlier. A dragon,
Sell that in the
yeah, a
report.
small one, crossed us, and he said we should go deal with it.
For
And
no reason.
I didn't want to, but my other friend Bryn agreed, and we were outvoted. And off we went.
Basically,
Other friend Bryn agreed,
that uses rocks.
outvoted.
But
Off we went.
So it's a super useful and super cheap thing.
But
It's one of my
I don't
cards. I
know,
wish
it-
it got used more.
I don't really have the answer you're looking for, Bert.
There is no answer. Not
I don't
really.
really
I
have
I
the
can only
answer.
promise you. I've given you my. I've stated what I think, and I will try. I can only promise you. I've given you my. There's nothing coming back from him. Nothing at all.
I will try.
Can't have her and my brother back. There's nothing coming back from
armor
him.
because
Nothing at all. I don't think I'll be able to stop myself and my brother back. It's too
And we won't have
too
proficiency
personal
with
to
it.
stop myself and my brother back.
If that's what you feel like you have to do that.
It's too personal. And I'm under no illusion. I don't think it'll bring me peace, but
Right, obviously we're gonna need
At
pack.
that point,
just
the doors of the hall of the church open, and at that point, And I'm sorry to cut you guys, but it's getting super late, and I'm concerned.
I know,
that
I know.
the rest
Yeah.
of you might want to be
I'm,
going.
I'm
so
happy. I'm happy to pick up this next week.
Yeah, will you be okay? You know me, I'm a vampire. I don't sleep, but I'm concerned for those of you who are working tomorrow morning or doing things or whatever.
I'll respect everyone else's wishes if they need to get going. I'm happy to continue, but I'll respect everyone else's wishes.
I was gonna say I gotta,
I'll
gotta
respect
work
everyone
here.
else's
Yeah,
wishes.
I will be working. However, I'm going to be suffering anyway because I don't sleep, so it's fine.
Alright.
Those lucky seasons.
It's not that super late for me, so I'm in either camp.
Yeah, so I guess as it's got
It's not that super late for me.
as
so
you
I'm in
guys,
either camp.
a couple of you need to get going. Let's just call it here for tonight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
We'll
continue
start with
next
that
week,
next
though.
week.
Yeah, that was an amazing session, guys. Really cool. I love the RP. That was really cool. Very super fun. Very nice. A bit of relaxation-ish for a change. I don't know if to call it relaxation. That's probably the wrong word. But yeah.
Compared to the last couple, last week, yes, it was.
Yes, actually, yes. Thank you all.
Compared to the last couple.
Yeah,
last
thank
week,
you
yes, it
to
was.
you, Luke. Thank you for being here as well with your voice. Thanks, Mark, Andy, Joey, and Lucky. Also to everyone who is watching us from home as every week. Thanks to Tessa Presents for the maps, to James Webster for the great art, and to Darren Curtin for the Untabletop audio for the music. You have a great week until we see you again soon, tomorrow hopefully, otherwise Sunday or next week. Until then, stay magical and say good night, you all. Thank you. Otherwise Sunday or next week.
Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
Take care. Yeah, and I need to. Mo is not here. Outro. Okay.